Welcome back into the Chicago Hockey Radio Show, Blackhawks Hour Edition, brought to you by the Alithio Network. Justin Lynch, Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos, Raven Gasser producing today. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. A good week, a good debut from a young blue liner on the Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to touch on that. We have a matchup between the last two first overall picks, yeah, I said that right, in the NHL draft. Tomorrow as the Chicago Blackhawks take on the San Jose Sharks. Fellas, how are we feeling today? Justin, how you doing, brother?
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
I shouldn't have thrown it to you first.
Chicago.
I shouldn't have thrown it to you first. That was my mistake.
Hopefully we'll get copyright strike for that, but no, I'm feeling pretty good today. A really nice day today. Man, I think I'm just so fired up from that Connor Bedard Instagram post last night. Man.
We can't start the show with
We're starting the show with it. I feel right at home, baby.
Hell yeah, he does.
Quick reminder to everybody to please subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you are a first-time watcher or listener, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. Leave a 5-star rating and review, and tell your friends about this show. I said it on the last post game that we did. All of you guys, that have been like sharing when we go live on your stories are incredible for doing so. That really means a lot to us. So be sure to continue to tell your friends to subscribe and all that fun stuff, because we hit 600 actually yesterday. So we're gonna hit 1,000 before you guys know it, and then we will be able to unlock CHR Plus for all of you, which will be super, super exciting. So that is my housekeeping. Also, Lee and I are live streaming the game tomorrow against the San Jose Sharks. So that is going to be a ton of fun.
It's a late one.
It is a late one. So CHR After Dark, come hang out with us. That is going to be a fun time. Although I can't blame you if you also choose sleep instead. So,
dude, that's the game of the season, man. Hawks versus Sharks. That's like our Stanley Cup. Why would you be sleeping for that game? Bedsy versus Celebrini, first ever matchup. No, we're all going to be up for that.
So I actually put this in. I have a bit of handwritten notes today.
Wow.
He's
really fancy.
Tassos is a pen to paper guy.
I am a pen to paper guy. Everything I do, it's all pen to paper. But
okay, boomer.
I did have this in my notes. Is tomorrow's like a big game, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I think it's really important, actually. Unironically.
You can't get worked by the San Jose Sharks tomorrow.
Look,
Go ahead, Justin.
It's like, and the tank doesn't really matter. We're not beating on the tank. I just want to win. I want to see Betsy own Celebrini. This will be the first time they play each other. We played the Sharks twice this year, but it's early in the season. Celebrini was out. He was clearly dodging Bedard, and now you can't shy away from him now. You better face the music, buddy. So yeah, battle of Bedard versus Celebrini, battle of Celebrini versus Levshunov as well.
Oh my god!
After the Blackhawks.
Oh my God, Ryan Guy.
What's he saying?
He just donated $50 fucking dollars.
Ryan,
don't do that,
Ryan.
Oh, dude,
no,
man.
honestly,
Christ.
I'm turning it off after this.
So yeah, I don't want anybody to do that, just because we do have so much fun stuff coming up with
save your money for later. Yeah.
Save it for CHR Plus. Save it for when we put out merchandise.
You're a beauty, though.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
Yeah, that does mean a lot.
W Ryan in chat.
Yeah, the Guy family is just they're very,
we
very
love
kind.
Them. We love them.
Absolutely. What a legend.
Yeah, lovely people.
No, but tomorrow is so important, because it's kind of gauging where we're at too. We want to show that we've been slandering them on this show all year long, just talking shit about
comparing the rebuilds.
We want to show that we're ahead of them. And Alex Vlasic was on CHGO yesterday, and I watched the whole thing, and he said, he was tomorrow's important because we want to show that we're better. He literally said we want to show that we're better than them. And so that fired me up. And so I think the boys are heading into that one thinking let's go. We got to win this one. So
that would be great for us too, for the media PR as well, because all year people have been saying the Sharks rebuild's so much far ahead of us, that the prospect pool is so much better, that Celebrini has so much more help than Bedard, that he's happier, yada yada, a bunch of Japanese over there. So I want to see the Hawks absolutely blow out the Sharks tomorrow. I think that's at San Jose too, right? West Coast game. Absolutely blow them out, and let's show that we're ahead of them and that we're going to run this shit in a few years. Not San Jose. They're going to get our sloppy seconds, just like the 2010s.
Is it the most meaningful game
of the
Yes.
season.
The season?
Yes, I really think it is. Like, this game is our Stanley Cup. Like, on Iraq, I think this game actually means a ton. Like, I do not want to lose. I do not want to lose tomorrow's game. This is the Tank Bowl, Toilet Bowl, but I want to win it. That's absolutely.
Honestly, I'm glad that we're streaming it.
Yeah, no. And look, I think this is a game that the Blackhawks should win, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
They are supposed to be a better team than the San Jose Sharks. They're not on a lot of nights, but they're supposed
But
to
I
be.
think they are for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially like way things have gone recently. Like I feel like this team we've talked about it on the show. Like things are turning around a little bit in Chicago, and so it's like now let's see it. Like now let's beat a team that we're supposed to, and a team that's in a similar spot as us. Let's show that we're better than them and get it done tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, play the way you did against Colorado. I know it's a 3-0 game. I thought the Hawks played really well.
Yeah.
Play the way you did that game, and that's going to be a cakewalk. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing it, especially for a guy like Levshunov, too. Like, you made your debut against a really good Avs team. Like, playing against that Sharks should feel like a Rockford game for him. So, looking forward to seeing him face off against Celebrini as well as Bedard. Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys want to maybe get into Artyom Levshunov a little bit and
Sure.
talk
Already
about the
party,
kid?
baby.
Raven, do you have the clip ready to go? We've got words from the young blue liner after his NHL debut yesterday. Could we hear Artyom?
Yeah, I think it was a good game. Yeah, unfortunately we lost, but yeah, I think we played hard.
It seemed like you got more comfortable and aggressive as the game went on.
Oh yeah, and then step by step, yeah, I was getting more confident, and for sure, yeah.
First period being
better,
extra
yeah.
careful, maybe?
Yeah, I tried to play simple, just tried to play hard, and yeah, nothing crazy.
How was the 5-on-3?
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I wish I scored like a couple times there. For sure, yeah, it was a good opportunity, good chances, yeah. But yeah, next time.
Seemed like that was what kind of like got you going, getting a few shot attempts off at the 5-on-3. That kind of loosened you up a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I got more confidence. Like after that, for sure. Yeah, I had like chances to score like my first game, and yeah, fortunately I didn't. But yeah, what goes on.
When Martinez gets hurt, you're playing with 3 different defensemen all of a sudden. You're like playing out there every other shift. Did that just make things even more complicated?
Yeah, we had like 5D left. Yeah, we tried to play short shifts, and yeah, I think we did a good job.
Was there any part that surprised you?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah, we play more. We have more ice time. Yeah, we played more, like for sure.
You had a moment with Nathan McKinnon in the first period where
Oh,
you're
yeah,
stick checking
he's,
him, you kept him outside. What's
Yeah,
that
he's
like?
such a good player. He's fast. Yeah, I think yeah, it was cool to play against him.
Is it a confidence booster?
Oh
knowing
yeah,
you
it
can?
felt good. I mean, yeah, he's still a human, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, well, yeah, it was good.
Dude, this kid's a comedian, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like effortlessly the funniest person I've ever heard talk. Like,
He's one of those guys who's funny without trying to be funny, right? Just
Yes.
everything he says is funny, like you said. I think he's going to be great for that room. Like the locker room vibes are clearly been a lot higher since the Jones trade. I think bringing a guy like Artie up here too is only going to help with that because he just seems like he has such a bubbly personality on and off the ice. Like he's going to be huge for this team, man. So love having him up here, playing with a lot of confidence. Like that's what I was impressed with, the confidence he played with Monday. He plays the way he did Monday, Thursday. Like, he's going to have another good night. So hopefully he just rides this little wave here and keep him up here for a good bit here then this year. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, he looked like good enough on Monday to where I'm saying like keep him up here for the rest of the season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why just a couple games to reward? Like, I think he can finish the season out with us. Then he can go back to Rockford for the playoffs. Like, I think that's the way to do it, right? I think more games, the better for him for his development. I think it does more for him than games in Rockford this time of year. If he's ready for the NHL level and he's showing it, why shouldn't he be up here?
Yeah, if he's playing like that, he's genuinely gonna help the team. Like a right shot, we don't have any of those. Like
He was our best defenseman on Monday, dude.
Yeah.
And like you said, like with the Jones trade, it's like, yeah, we don't have a lot of right shot D up here, so why not have him up here? Fill in that role. Yeah.
Here comes Tassos about to say, send him back down.
No, not at all. I was just gonna say though, have you guys ever heard the phrase "ignorance is bliss"?
Oh, God.
I don't think it was just a. I mean, yeah, it was
No,
just a view.
I think like you go into a game and some of these like North American players, especially like you're going up against Nathan McKinnon, your first game in the NHL, like
I see.
that can like weigh on you a little bit more. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, that's Nathan McKinnon. Where I'm sure Artyom Levshunov watches hockey and knows how good Nathan MacKinnon is, but it's sort of just like, hey,
He doesn't like idolize him.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, and he's just like going to go out there and do his thing, and he's like, yeah, he's a good player, he's fast, Like,
But if that's how he fares against Nathan MacKinnon, I imagine how he's going to fare against, lesser competition, right? But that was really a trial by fire debut game. I was a little worried. I was like, maybe we should just start him tomorrow, but we didn't. I think that was probably a good call, actually. I thought he adjusted pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some thoughts on Levshunov. I liked his breakouts a lot. Like, I thought he was just like smart and composed. I told Justin on the post game show that there were some plays along the wall in the ozone that I just thought were, intelligent. You hang onto the puck a little bit longer. You show you can like make a move or two when like you got a little bit of pressure to get some escape. I want to see him play a lot on Thursday. Like, I want to see him.
Give him 20 minutes.
Another 20
18 to 22 is like a nice, comfortable range for me. And I do want to see more of him and Vlasic together. I know that pair, they kind of went to it, obviously, when everything was sort of in the blender. He was playing with everybody. But I definitely think those two could, be nice and sort of grow together a little bit.
Yeah. You know what I want to see?
Oh, sorry. I just had one more thought that like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
I think he could be like a 30-minute a night kind of guy eventually.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, he's going to be up there at the ice time, like 25, 30 minutes. Like he's going to play those Seth Jones minutes, but he's going to earn those minutes. He's going to, be consistent during them. But I was going to say, why didn't have a quarterback the first power play unit and have Vlasic quarterback the second? I don't know. The Monday game, I was much more impressed with him quarterbacking the power play versus Vlasic. And he just shoots the puck, man. He has that shooting mentality, which I think is great for the power play. It forces, the PK to respect it, right? Opens up passing lanes as well. So why not give him a trial run there against San Jose? I would do it. Yeah.
And like, I hope he's studying, like, I want him to study Cale Makar. Like, that's a type of player that he should strive to play like, And I would love to see him on the first unit too, because we've already seen it in Rockford a little bit. Like, he kind of does, he tries to do something similar to Makar. Like, Makar's bread and butter on the power play is he just like dances with it on the blue line, and then he tries to find that sweet spot in the middle of the ice where he's got 4 or 5 screens in front of the goalie, and then he just lets off that wrister. And I feel like we've seen Artyom Levshunov do that a little bit. I want to see him just like lean into that and just rip it all the time on the peeper.
Yeah, he doesn't have a super powerful shot, but it's deceptive, kind of like Cale Makar, like you referenced there. And, maybe you look at his college statistics, man, and compare it to Makar in his freshman season. It's actually, they compare. I'm not saying he's going to be Cale Makar, nobody is. But, if he can emulate that kind of game and play that style, I don't think we're going to feel so bad about picking him over Demonov, but I'm probably jumping the gun here, but it's like, we got to support our guy. I know there's some people who want different, but it's like, look, Levshunov is a Blackhawk, and I think, look, if he ends up being our number one defenseman, I think we're going to feel pretty good about the pick. Finding a right shot D-man, along the style of the play that he has, it's really hard to find a player like that. They don't grow on trees. So if he can develop properly, then we got our guy here.
Sure. He's our guy, dude. And from here on out, CHR is a Artyom Levshunov glaze show. So
hell yeah, no, and we're establishing those pillars in all positions too, right? We got our forward pillar, we got our defense pillar in Levshunov, we got our goaltending pillar in Knight. Man, it's all coming together here, man. Future's bright.
Can we hear from the coach Raven on the loss to the Avalanche the other night?
Yeah, if you can say that a loss is encouraging, I guess. Yeah, it was. I thought we did a lot of good things, and I thought both goalies were good. Ours were good too, but came up a little short, unfortunately.
What did you see from Levshunov?
First NHL game was good. Saw some of the offensive stuff that we talked about, right? I thought he defended well. I thought he was assertive. So a good first step.
Did he seem to get more confident as it went on?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Any update on Martinez?
Just day to day.
Is there anything you saw from Levshunov you didn't like, or that you want him to work on?
No, I thought lots of positives. I thought his gaps were good. He was engaged, made a lot of plays. So, nothing.
Do you feel like that was maybe one of the better road performances you've had in a while?
Yeah, yes, for 60 minutes, yeah, absolutely. I thought, you look at the chances for it, there were dead even chances against and for. We did a lot of good things. Unfortunately, that 5-on-3 kind of hurt us a little bit, but lots of positives.
I think that's the first time I've heard Anders Sorensen talk, and I was like, hell yeah. I think he was like a little hesitant to like applaud the performance because you lost 3-0. But like I wasn't on the post game the other night. Like they played really well, and if a couple things go differently, they win that game. Like obviously,
I think if they score the 5-3, they win.
We talked about that like right when it happened, Justin. Just like that's gonna be what cost them, and we were right. But also like the Bedard chance where was it Wedgwood stacked the pads and like that was absurd, and then he robbed Foligno. Like if we score those, we win that game. So.
We got goalie.
Yeah, we got goalie, and you can like that's one of those things where you tip your cap and keep it moving. Like I thought they played super well. We talked about how tomorrow night's going to be like a gauge to see where you're at. I thought the game against the Avs was like that too. It was like this is a true contender. They really want the points. They want to win. They want to finish high in the standings. And I thought they played super well against them.
It was a good test for this group, and they passed that test, right? As you mentioned there. And for Sorensen, it might be the first post-game interview where he didn't sound like an NPC there. Actually showed some emotion. Maybe this youth culture is rubbing off on him a little bit. So, no, you love to see it. His days are still numbered. He's not going to be the guy, but, at least he could, finish strong here. Yeah.
I think the key thing for me from that was full 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Full 60.
It was for the first time in I can't remember the last time they put up a full 60-minute effort like that.
Even just we could even call it a 55-minute effort if you
I was gonna say
the first
5 minutes to the third. Yeah,
the first 5 of the third. You know, but even still, I don't know when the last time we saw a 55-minute effort out of the Chicago Blackhawks was. So
no, for sure.
Any other
This
thoughts?
needs some finish. Yeah, it was the first time they've been shut out all season too, which is shocking. Dallas, the only team left that hasn't been shut out this year, so that's the most Blackhawk statistic of all time. And their 5-game point streak is over too, but that's okay. Congrats to Nathan McKinnon as 1,000th point, by the way. Good for him. He had some words, by the way, on Connor Bedard. He said, I'd have killed that production. At his age, 19 years old. That's via Ben Pope. So look at Nathan McKinnon's second season. I think he had 38 points in 64 games. Bedard is 52 and 65 right now on a worse team. So if everybody's tweaking about Bedard, I think Nate Daw doesn't seem so concerned. So I'll take his word over all the Twitter experts.
Nathan McKinnon had an ad popped up as soon as 38 points in 64 games as a sophomore in the NHL, the 2014-15 season.
Yeah. So there you go.
And then seasons of 52, 53 before breaking out for 97 in 99. Before becoming Nathan McKinnon.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't take 5 years for Bedard to figure it out, but that's be patient. It takes for some players it takes longer. Like Jack Hughes is another example. So I think as this team gets better, it's going to become a lot easier for Connor Bedard. Yeah.
Can we have a quick pause on Nathan McKinnon for a second?
Pause.
Yeah.
Is he the front runner for the MVP right now?
Yes, I think so.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
they're
he's having.
Just because the points, they're gonna give it to him. Like you can make arguments for
Leon.
Yeah, or
he did win it last year, right?
Yep.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh no, this is not a good time for this. My fire alarm is going off.
Oh
no.
My God.
No, are you kidding me, dude?
Take us with.
I'll get you on the phone, maybe. I don't know. What should I do? I don't know what to do.
I think
we can hold it. Me and Lee will hold it.
Get out of the building, brother.
Oh my
get
God,
out of the building.
dude. Okay, I'll
shoot us a text.
Jesus Christ! All right, fuck me.
Raven, switch it over to the one, and then we'll tell him to text us when. I was like, what is that noise?
Oh my God, you can't make that shit up. Only on CHR. That's what we do. You
don't get this on any other.
No. Nope.
At least in this city, you don't get this on any other show. Justin's taking his good sweet time leaving the building right now.
He's getting his protein bar.
Bar in his mouth.
And his bye. Oh my God! Oh, they couldn't even see that. Him coming back in the room 3 times to grab unimportant shit before leaving.
Justin's like, "Do I have my flavored water with me?"
Yeah. He's gonna go put the fire out with his bye that he drinks every day. Oh my God!
Is there a way we can mute him, Raven, too? Or
yeah, we just won't be able to play clips really. So
okay.
We might have to wait a little bit.
Should we just play the last clip? What was the last clip?
The last clip was Foligno. Yeah, can we hear from the cap?
If there's anything big picture that's changed the last 5-6 games since you guys been playing better?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just a quiet confidence in the abilities of some players that have been able to step up. I think there's also a cohesiveness with the group, right? We've kind of gotten rid of some distractions, so to speak, and now there's just a group that's trying to get better, it's trying to find a way to improve. And sometimes when you make hard decisions, they end up benefiting the group, and I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing a product of that. It's just where guys are playing together, they're playing for one another, they're playing to grow something here, and not worried about what's gone on or what guys are feeling. It's everyone in here that's pulling on the same rope, and we know we got to pull ourselves out of this. And I think it's a credit to all the guys that have after a lot of distractions and the deadline, and we've seen a group that's kind of come together here. So it's encouraging. You see the guys, the young guys stepping in that have done the job, and even the older guys that have accepted some of the roles that they played. And it's a sign of a team coming together. So I'm encouraged by that, and it's got to continue the next 18, 17 here.
That's awesome.
So that clip was going around, or at least the quote card from that clip, and everybody seems to believe, obviously, that he's talking about Seth Jones.
Yeah. I like that he actually said that. Vlasic was asked about it actually on CHGO yesterday, and he was like, he obviously didn't have anything bad to say about Seth, but he was like, yeah, how can that not affect your mentality in the locker room, Yeah. And I think that's so true. So it's sick that oh my gosh, Thomas Bedard Bumbini, you're a goat. But yeah, I mean, how could that not affect the room a little bit? And it's we want guys that want to be here. And I think the locker room probably feels the same way. It's if you hate it so much, get out. And so I think that's kind of just a weight lifted off their shoulders. And yeah, they've played so much better since he's been off the team. They went on a 5-game point streak, which, we talked about was the longest since 2023. And so, yeah, I don't know. I appreciate our captain, acknowledging it. I hate when guys in the NHL just act like things like that don't affect anybody. It's that's such cap. We know that bothers you a little bit. And so, yeah, let's see it for the rest of the year. Let's see this team start to come together. This young group, especially defensively, kind of, I don't know, make their imprint on the NHL and be like, hey, this is our team now. Let's go do it.
I think, I don't know. We've said this after these games. You could feel it in the game against Anaheim, the first game after the trade, that it just felt like a collective weight was lifted off the shoulders of this group. Almost like a $9.5 million anchor attached around their necks a little bit. And, man, it just is very refreshing almost to sort of hear something like that. And honestly, it's a little refreshing from Nick Foligno's perspective too, because I feel like, I was getting a little annoyed with the
politician type responses.
We're looking for our identity. We're looking for our identity. And, sometimes the best thing is just to say the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to be honest and be upfront and say, this is not I would love it if after bad games, people were just yeah, we sucked. Yeah. That was terrible. This went wrong. And it's never really like that. So for Foligno to just come out and say that.
I
really,
agree.
It's good.
It's refreshing, and it's not like it's just him. I feel like it's a thing in the NHL where guys just I don't know, they keep the cards super close and I like when guys are super candid like that and are hey, this is what happened. This is how we feel. Can we get
said that?
Oh, Justin, figure it out, brother. Turn your mic off, brother. Justin, my goodness. Can we mute him, Raven?
I already did.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, thank God. Oh, wow.
I just
felt like I just got flashbanged for a second there.
Oh.
But Mr. B-Hawks Memes is back with his volume on max.
Well, he's listening to our show while he was out there doing his thing.
Hopefully Justin was entertained during the fire drill there in Ohio.
All right, more thoughts?
No, I was just saying, like, it's nice to see guys be like honest. I don't know. I think I don't know if that like affects the locker room or like anyone's mentality, but from a fan's perspective, like when the sky's falling, it's annoying when players on your team are like, no, the sky's not falling. Everything's fine. We just got to figure out our identity. But when they're like, yeah, we had distractions. You're supposedly number one defenseman who's making the most money on the team, calling for a week and a half that he wants to leave and doesn't want to be there anymore. It's a distraction. And so call it that. And it's like, now that that's gone, I don't know. It's nice. Justin, are you with us, brother? Is he good?
Yeah, no, first of all, okay, I shouldn't be. Okay, I can't predict that, okay? So don't give me shit about that. I wasn't told anything about their fire drill happened, so I was caught up by surprise, so I don't want to know. Like, that's, look.
We're just having fun. We're just
okay. So what are we talking about here? Where am I joining again?
So we just played the Foligno clip, and he just kind of talked about how how the team's playing since distractions, he said, are gone with the trade deadline and everything. And we were just kind of saying like how it's refreshing, honestly, to hear our captain be candid and honest and not like sugarcoat things and just talk about identity.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a good thing for this Hawks team. The distractions are gone. I think it's a good thing that my fire alarm distraction is gone. I can get back locked in here. But yeah, no, I think, and we've seen it. Like, I think we've been joking about it, but like, I think we're actually seeing it with this Hawks team. It's clear they're playing differently. The vibes are different with this team since Jones has been out. I mean, everybody just seems happier. The atmosphere is stronger. They're playing better hockey. It's like, man, Kyle Davidson, too, like, we got to talk about this. I don't know if you guys talked about this while I was away, but, dude, like, he really locked in for this trade. I mean, he just got a heart procedure done during the Four Nations break, comes out of it, and then trades Seth Jones, gets our franchise goaltender, like, and if anything, it makes that whole situation even more impressive. It makes Seth Jones look even worse. The fact that he gave him, put him in that bind with the, it's like you have two teams to work with, and he was able to make that trade happen. Pretty impressive for Kyle Davidson. Like, he's no breaks from him. It doesn't matter what's going on in his personal life. He's locked in. The Hawks are his life. And no, really impressive trade there. I think we're seeing the fruits of that labor pay off.
Yeah, we actually did not talk about that. Yeah, Justin's referring to the Every Shift episode that dropped yesterday from the Blackhawks. If you guys haven't watched it, you should go watch it. I mean, 10 minutes of it, 10 minutes plus, are about Kyle Davidson like getting his heart surgery. Which was kind of interesting that they were like, I don't know, they're just like recording the doctors talk about like the ins and outs of the surgery. But yeah, dude literally woke up from surgery and made one of the best trades in recent memory as far as the Blackhawks are concerned.
You could say Kyle Davidson had a change of heart about Seth Jones.
God. Oh my God.
That wasn't me, by the way. Somebody commented that on one of my posts, so that was from them. So credit to whoever commented that. But yeah, no, I think the episode itself was really good too. It's definitely a future-centric episode. It gave us hope. It's like, the vibe I got from it is that Malcolm in the Middle meme, like the future is now, old man. That's this Hawks team right here. It's like we're playing the kids to end the season. It's all about them, not about the unks here. The youth movement is here. And just look at the roster now. It's just so much younger compared to the start of the year, because it wasn't like that to start the season. We have one of the oldest rosters in the league. From Mario, average age of the Blackhawks roster to begin the season was 29.4. We were the fifth oldest team in the league. Now it's 26.8. We're the eighth youngest. So I think that's great to see. It's a sign this rebuild is coming a long way. We're developing these guys properly. And I think next season, man, I think the end of the season is showing it's going to be so much more fun. Hockey's going to be better, and we have a lot to look forward to here.
Absolutely. We used to pray for times like this, and it's finally happening.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir, baby.
I don't know. It just feels like right now is like the most fun time to watch the Blackhawks in the past like 4 years. So it's exciting, and I think they feel it in the locker room too. Every clip that comes out, everything I'm seeing, like these guys have smiles on their face. They're enjoying it more. I think we're going to see a lot less of that media, like Bedard's miserable, help Bedard, get Bedard out, because he did make an Instagram post last night, Justin.
Oh, what a transition.
Oh,
what
God,
a transition.
Are we really talking about this?
Yeah, this is a big deal,
transition?
man. This is a big deal.
How much did the Blackhawks pay him to post that?
Oh, come on. Get out of here with that nonsense, dude. That wouldn't make any sense for the Hawks to do, by the way. But
yes,
no, how about...
It wouldn't make any sense. Of course it would.
Shut up! You're such a capper. I'm gonna attack this guy right now for us, Justin.
No, but dude, it's like there's been this whole like narrative all season that Bedard's miserable, that he wants out of Chicago, and suddenly this last few weeks of his play and the team's being a lot better since the Jones trade and his overtime winner, we haven't really been seeing a lot of those talks lately. They've gone silent. There's crickets on their end. So that talk is evaporated suddenly. So I find that pretty interesting. And yeah, Connor Bedard clearly poking fun at all these Twitter people. Posted a home emoji with his Blackhawks post last night. And that's so rare by Bedard, by the way. He never posts anything that's like not sponsor ad related. So that was truly a historic moment. I think that's the first time he's done that since he was drafted by Chicago. So nice to see him post that. I think my comment there is the second most liked on that post, by the way, too. So yeah, I said, is this the real life, in reference to Bohemian Rhapsody, Bedard posting something that's not an ad. So pretty nice to see.
Yeah, B-Hawks
I think he's happy in Chicago.
B-Hawks memes with more likes than Frank Nazar's comment about sipping Johnny Walker in the war room with Tristan Tate. Dude, I will say, like, one thing about the post.
So like $20,000?
You're such shit. No, but like, he should do shit like that more, like lean into it. There is such like we see it with B-Hawks memes and myself. Like the fans in Chicago, Blackhawks fans would literally die for Connor Bedard. Like he should.
I go to war for him.
Yeah, like lean into that a little bit. Like give us little nuggets to lose our minds and talk about a fucking Instagram caption on a show for a few minutes. Like I just wish a post game interview. Like if he gets the first star, like pump the crowd up, pump the tires of the fans a little bit. I think like small stuff like that goes a long way with the fan base, especially one that's enduring this pain of a rebuild. Like I don't know, I think people would appreciate that more, no?
Yeah, and I love seeing all his teammates commenting under it too. We got the Nazar commenting there. We got Alex Vlasic, the one guy who's got more likes than me in the comment section. Like clearly everybody loves him in Chicago. His teammates love him. He's got friends here. So for all those people on Twitter, like, oh, look at how much friends Celebrini has in the Sharks and Bedard has no one. Have you been paying attention? The Hawks have like what, 11 players who are under 23 on this team and more in the pipeline. So no, I think he's got plenty of guys his age. I think he's pretty happy here. His teammates love him. By the way, that home caption. The last time Bedard scored an OT winner against the Winnipeg Jets a year and a half ago, he said in his interview, it feels like home now, reference to Chicago. The next time he scores an OT winner, posts about it and then captions home. That's the kind of lore and type of knowledge you can only get from this man himself. Bedard lore, I'm in it. So I don't think that's just a coincidence. I don't think that was just, I think he was clearly poking fun there at all the delusional Vancouver people who think he's going home after his ELC's up. So they can all go have a nice evening.
You are magic, dude. You are just like sometimes.
I'm so fired up today, man. Yeah, no. Yeah.
He needs give more just for B-Hawks memes to just pop off on the show. We're fiending for it.
Fiend. Even the Blackhawks posted it and then captioned it "Sweet Home Chicago." So maybe Tassos actually might be onto something there. If even the Hawks are reposting it, I don't think he is, but I don't know. Maybe they're getting a cut or something. I don't know. A little extra sponsor money.
Tassos, is it maybe possible that like Chicago's amazing and he just like loves the city?
No, look. I'm just saying that just to like play heel a little bit here. But there is a world where they could have been like, "Hey Connor, like we'll give you $25K to post this."
I don't think they fucking gave him $25K.
Why not?
Because
you hear all the noise about like there has been a lot of noise out there this season. There's been a lot of talk that he's unhappy and talk that.
You think the Blackhawks organization is like, you know what we need right now? A nice caption from Connor Bedard.
We're sitting here talking about it.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just saying there was a good comment from our comment section that said if they were paying him to post, he'd post more on Instagram.
Yeah, true.
So
exactly, that's what I mean. And like, what kind of message that sent too? That would just kind of piss him off. Like if I was in a situation, the team was like trying to pay me to post that I'm happy here, then I'd be more likely to leave when it actually comes time. So I feel like that really makes sense for the Hawks.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I think he's generally happy. Everything he says, I don't think you can fake that. So no, I think. Look at Chicago, man. We talk about all the time on this show. Like, this is a place you want to, create a legacy, just like the Canes and the Tazes of the world. Bedard wants to create his own legacy here. Now he doesn't want to create a legacy in, I don't know, like San Jose and Anaheim, Columbus. This is the Blackhawks, baby. This means something. Original Six market, Chicago, sweet home Chicago.
You think he went and got an Italian beef after that?
Dude, probably.
I hope so. That would be the most Chicago thing to do.
Or a dog with everything on it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
With
man.
all 7 ingredients.
Except for ketchup.
No ketchup.
Yeah, no, we don't do that here. We don't do that here.
Disgusting.
Which is so weird. Like, this is gonna.
Are we about to do ketchup on hot dog talk?
I like ketchup on a hot dog.
Oh,
I'm with you,
disgust
Tassos.
me.
I'm with you.
You guys are 4-year-olds. Grow up.
What do you,
But
you're
okay,
not
you throw mustard and relish on there too, a little onion, a little pepper. Like it's basically a Chicago dog with an extra topping. That's it.
You two aren't native Chicagoans like we are, so
No.
there we go.
Yeah.
I don't
fair
like
enough.
the tomato on the Chicago dog.
Valid.
Dude.
Like,
Tweak it.
sub the tomato for ketchup,
Tweak it.
and you got me.
The Chicago dog is so perfect. I love eating it with fries. I love the tomato on there because it's like the way I'm about to talk about it is going to sound really gross, but like I love how like wet and sloppy a Chicago dog is.
But then you complain
Wet
about
and
the
sloppy.
poutine.
Yeah, that was me seeing Bedard's post last night.
Yeah, beep, beep, beep.
I like
Sorry,
how
you
wet
just
and
set me up
sloppy
there.
a
I'm
Chicago
sorry.
dog is, and then I eat it with the fries, and it's like the dry ingredient. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody.
Super Dog is the best Chicago hot dog. Have you guys had Super Dog? Really good
I have
stuff.
had Super Dog. I've never had Gene and Jude, so I don't want to, you know.
All right, we can probably get back to the Blackhawks now.
Sloppy dog.
This is what happens when we talk about Instagram posts. And
we can move on. We can move on.
Comments
I think
on-
that was enough.
comments and
This is the thing, though. This is what sets us apart. Nobody's doing sloppy dog talk on other hockey shows, okay? So you're welcome.
All right, what we got next?
dude, I
You
don't
don't
know.
want to sit on this for a little bit? We
Go
don't
to
wanna-
break, please. No, I don't know.
Like, when I was away, y'all would just talk about the Nick Foligno stuff, right? That's
Yeah.
all I missed.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we got that covered. We got Hawks Sharks covered. We got Hawks Avs covered.
I have a Sharks Hawks point tomorrow too. I'd like to see Spencer Knight get the start. I understand why you might put Arvid Soderblom back in. And if they do, then it probably hints at the fact that we're going to see more of a rotation going forward in the net the rest of the season. But at the same time too, and I felt this way when it was Arvid and Peter. It was like, give Arvid a run of starts here. He's a 23-year-old kid, 24 years old. Like, he can play 5 games in a row without completely falling apart. And if he does completely fall apart, then maybe he's not, that maybe he's not that guy. Maybe he's more of a 1B or like a really good 2. Give Spencer Knight another start, especially because you lost the other one. You want to keep building his confidence up, like get him a W. Get him another W.
Yeah, I want them to do that, but I'm not really sure if they will. I mean, I think that the way they've been, kind of talking about, it's probably going to be a tandem rotation the rest of the year, the Knight Soda tandem. But I do think it would make sense, right? Knight's been playing so well. Why not give him a run of games? He's a young goaltender. He can handle it, right? He's going to be our starter of the future. So, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, not to echo what Justin just said, but I'd love it. But I just they won't do it. It's it's one of those things where they're going to not necessarily keep Soda happy, but I think they want to roll with that tandem. And so I'm sure they're going to throw it back to Soda.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't want them to though.
I don't either. I completely agree with the points you guys made. Play the guy that's going to be your franchise goaltender for the next decade and a half. But yeah, it's the Blackhawks and Anders Sorensen that we're talking about right now. They're going to do things like, we gotta, I feel like that's kind of been their approach. It's like, we're going to play TJ we're going to play the veterans. We brought in the veterans, so we're going to play, it's like that kind of shit where it's like, okay, dude, just go with your guy.
But then if Soderblom starts, then like I said, it is going to be a rotation of them probably every other game. Then you probably can expect to not see any of them in consecutive games the rest of the year.
Unfortunately, I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's a back-to-back, you're probably right about that. Yeah.
Especially if it's a back-to-back.
Oh, yeah, especially if it's back-to-back.
Especially if they're not going to play him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm not
But
sure
now you've had 2 days off, come on, give him the start.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, no disrespect to Soda, he's had a good season, but Knight's our guy. Yeah.
Dude, it's such a good sign that everybody's start Knight. We have a goalie that we're fiending for, It's been a long time since we've experienced this, Blackhawks fans.
Like, seriously, what was the last time I've been this confident in a Hawks goalie tandem? Knight Soderblom. Like, I'd say probably maybe 1920 when it was Crawford Leonard. Maybe that's the last time. But like, this is on another level. Like, this is going to be our tandem. This is our future group here. And I think it gives you a lot more confidence in these games when you know you have a guy in net you can rely on. I'm sure for the team it's the same way. Yeah.
And also maybe it's a good thing that you have like a bit of like, you're rolling the tandem. Like hopefully it's motivation for both of them. Like, holy shit, did you see Soda's performance last night? And then Knight answers back with with a crazy game. Like hopefully they bring the best out of each other.
Yeah, I think it's going to push them to be better. Right? I think you saw that right in Boston with Ullmark and Swayman. Hopefully you can see that to a similar degree here. So that does seem to be the way it's trending now. Goalies is if they have a good tandem duo, that's there's nothing wrong with splitting starts. Yeah.
Holt just brought up a really good point. He said the way our goalie room has changed since this offseason is wild. Dude, like if you imagine you telling yourself like at the beginning of the year, hey, you're going to have a tandem of Knight and Soderblom, and Soderblom is going to be fucking amazing. And, like you would be like, what are you talking about? Like, no, he's not. It's been so much change. The how much better Soderblom has gotten this season has been awesome to see. And so, it's like, let's keep this thing rolling.
No, it's been one of the best stories of the season, seeing Soderblom's revenge tour and glow up. It's been great. And I think it's going to get the best out of Knight as well. Have a guy who could push him as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I have one more thought before we go to break. And I actually had written this down for my NHL hour as a question about the Nashville Predators as they got a win yesterday. But, this sort of applies to the San Jose Sharks, even though I don't think that they're going to be able to do what I'm about to talk about here. But don't you guys personally want to see Nashville win as many games as possible before the end of the season so that they don't get a top 5 pick? Because here's my point. You look at this draft right now, and Stephen Ellis, our boy, just put out his most recent draft rankings, whatever. And he had Schaefer going 1, he had Misa going 2, and then Hagen's 3 to Nashville. And I think Porter Martone went 4 to Buffalo or something like that, or whatever it looked like. I get that the Michael Misa talk, and I understand that this kid has played a lot better over, the ever since Matthew Schaefer's been injured. Like Michael Misa has asserted himself as probably even a better prospect than James Hagen's right now.
Yeah.
But don't you want Nashville almost to fall out of it and maybe land at 6th overall so that there doesn't exist that narrative potentially of, did we pick the right guy and they play in the same division? Are you guys worried about that at all?
Well, I think I'm more worried about the fact that we're not that far from the standings. I don't want to pass Nashville because I think we're only a few points away from them. So from that perspective, I hope they win games so we stay in the 31st slot there. Yeah, for us. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I still feel like Nashville are in such a different position than us because they've got, it's such an old team, dude. They're all over the age of 30. I think I really do think they're going to come back next year and try to make it work with the same group. And I'm not saying that it will. But I think that even if they're bad, and then they bring in this one really good prospect, they're not I don't know, they're not in
You're
the
right.
same...
They might be bad again next year. They may get Gavin McKenna, and then
we can't be hyper worried about what other teams have. We have to believe in our squad and what we're building here enough to where it's I don't care if Nashville gets X player.
I'm just saying there's only so many playoff spots every year.
No, I know.
I don't think the window is closing for the Dallas Stars anytime in the next 5 years. I don't think the window is going to close for the Colorado Avalanche anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that there are a lot of as far as winning goes in the Central, there are a lot of teams that I'm significantly more worried about in 3 years' time than I am the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, Nashville doesn't really move me. They're not in our division, but a team like the Sharks, that concerns me the future more than the Predators. Yeah.
But also
the Sharks, the Sharks aren't going to move out of last place. It seems like they're not going to suddenly go on a 10-game rip here before the end of the season and end up 28th or 27, right? They're probably secure in the last spot. So you know, it's like what we've talked about. It's like, oh, let the Sharks make the choice. Like, you know, let the Sharks almost make your pick by making the pick, right?
Yeah.
Because if the Sharks go up there and they select Michael Misa first overall, I'm sorry, fellas, you got to draft Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Unfortunate but true, Justin.
and then you
Unfortunate
trade Kevin Korchinski for a guy like Dylan Cousins, who fired another one in the back of the net tonight. And, you know, the Hawks maybe should have gone out and, you know, put a bit more of a competitive offer together probably for a guy like Cousins. But, yeah, I guess my point is it's like, you know, how we talked about the Sharks making the pick for the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks are almost going to make the pick for the Predators if they're picking right after. Like, if Sharks go Schaefer, Hawks go Misa, the Predators are going to go James Higgins, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And I think Misa, no, like, I don't even think it's really close, Doug. I think Misa is absolutely blown by James Higgins. And I think even Schaefer, I think Misa is the number one guy right now. It seems pretty clear to me. But if the Sharks have the number one pick, if they're smart, they pick Schaefer because they really need a defenseman. But that's not always how it rolls. They probably like to screw us over. In that case, I'd want to get the first pick because I hope the Hawks would pick Misa over Schaefer.
Yeah. I thought I'd throw that out there.
No, worth discussing.
Are you guys cheering for the Predators the rest of the way here a little bit?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I want to win all the games we have left. Like, I want this team to, like, go on a roll here, especially now that it's like a youth-dominated Blackhawks team, like with real Blackhawks, as we say on the show. I want them to play as well as possible, and I'm not going to be tweaking about, you know, our draft spot. It's like we're gonna have to let the chips fall where they do. So,
and we have nice gaps to work with here. We have a 6-point gap to San Jose. We have a 6-point gap or 7-point gap to Buffalo. So it's like it doesn't really matter. Like, we're kind of in no man's land. So it's like just win. Like, just play hockey, right? There's nothing to lose here, right? I want to see a promising Hawks team end this year. I think we're seeing that right now. So let's keep that rolling the rest of the season here. I also love how the Hawks are really fitting into this too. Like, they're definitely promoting this young group more. Like, even the season ticket bids they're doing, like, they're promoting guys like Frank Nazar and Lucas Reichel and Arvid Soderblom, the young guys. I think that's great. So keep fitting into that. Like, a lot of these kids have personalities. Take advantage of them, right? I think that's a good thing to do for the Hawks.
Take advantage of the youth, says Justin.
That's not what I meant.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we hit a break? Because there was one story here that we could spend a few minutes on before we go.
Yeah, I feel like that stupid fire drill stole my thunder. I was cooking and that just ruined it for me. But I'm sure I'll have something else to think of in the NHL hour that I would have brought up here.
No, that was a CHR masterclass from you. Just like cooking and then a fire drill like that. Awesome. Like, you can't.
They need fire drills to stop me, man.
Yeah.
I refuse to lose.
What is the story that you want to indulge in?
So it's an article from Ben Pope on the Chicago Sun-Times, just basically talking. He intros it talking about Wyatt Kaiser a little bit, and basically a story that's not unfamiliar to us on this show. It's just the logjam in Chicago on the blue line here going forward with the amount of young players. You know, even with the Jones trade, you have Kaiser, Del Mastro, Korchinski, Crevier, Nolan Allen, who will all have 2 or 3 professional seasons and 20-plus NHL games under their belts. You have Artyom Levshunov now, who, you know, I think based off of one hockey game here, we can say is in the lineup right now for going forward.
Yeah, he's penciled in. Yeah.
So, you know, you have Sam Rinzel coming up, and like those two are probably the most talented. You have Alex Vlasic, who has established himself as a top pairing guy here, and Connor Murphy has another year left under his contract. So that's 9 guys competing for 7 spots.
9. But yeah, no, that's a lot of competition, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, right? I think it's going to push these guys to be better too. You know, you've said it before, defense too. You can't really have too much. I mean, I kind of disagree with that a little bit. I think you can have too much eventually, but yeah, not just the defense too. We have a lot of guys coming in the forward group too, like guys like Oliver Moore, and their college seasons are up. So this team's only going to get younger as the season goes along here, right?
Look, we've talked about how the summer's a legacy summer for Kyle Davidson. You've got amazing trade chips in promising young defensemen. Use them. You know, like.
But which ones are you using now? Kaiser and Crevier are RFAs at the end of this season.
Yes, I'd say like, I think Kaiser, EDM. I think those guys could probably get you the most, and also you're like least upset about losing them. Like the thing with Korchinski is like there's so much unknown,
so much potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to. Yeah, that'd be premature.
I feel like Korchinski's ceiling is so high that you almost don't want to like roll the dice and trade him and then have him end up being like a legit, number one defenseman, amazing puck mover, like all the things we want him to be. So yeah, I'd say for me at least, it's like Kaiser EDM.
And let's not forget, like we traded Alex DeBrincat for the pick that became Kevin Korchinski. So like I really want to see this guy out. So
yeah,
I think he's got, like you said, so much untapped potential. Like let's give him I hope he gets like a last run here to end this season. I mean, the fact that pretty much everybody in that Rockford defense has been called up but him the last couple of months, I mean, tells you maybe he just rides the season in Rockford. But I like to see him get a few games of the Hawks just to see where he's at some point.
Keep Marty as your seventh
If you
defenseman.
keep him, and I'm talking about Korchinski, he's got to be in the NHL lineup next year.
Yeah, 100%. I think he should be right now. But
otherwise, any sort of value dissipates greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because then teams are like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a Herbert defenseman though because that dumbass rule where you can't play. You got to play either juniors in NHL. He can't play in the AHL for a defenseman to go back down to the AHL after being in the NHL. So he's not in an unforeseen position here. But if that were to occur again next year, then yes, I think that would kind of raise some alarms. Yeah.
Do you think Del Mastro and Kaiser actually carry enough like what is the value?
I mean, I think the third pair guys at best.
I keep like banging the table on the fact that they should have gotten Dylan Cousins. Like
I don't think they were going to be able to put together an offer that they would have wanted.
Similar, but keep in mind, like similar. Then
like what is Buffalo going to do with more young left-hand defensemen? Like if you were going to get Cousins, you were going to have to give a Levshunov or a Rinzel up. They wanted right-hand D. I don't think we had what they wanted.
Yeah, I don't think a Denial would have done it too because the teams clearly just didn't have the interest in Denial that Kyle thought.
But can you get a player that's similar to Dylan, like the similar?
Yeah, like go try to do it.
But do those two, do Del Mastro and Kaiser carry enough value to bring you a similar player to Dylan Cousins?
If you have to package draft capital, you can do that.
We have so much draft capital.
And,
use it.
And Kyle Davidson has literally said in that press conference after the deadline that like, hey, we're not super worried and we don't really care too much anymore for the draft capital. Like if you have it, they're going to use it and like do their best they can in every draft. But it's like, we want players now. So package picks with young players and bring in guys that you think are worthwhile. Because as you said, there's quite a logjam. So
that's a big part of why I kept it out too, like you said in that reshipped episode. Like, we're not just going to trade this guy for another mid-round pick just to say we traded a player, right? We already have so much of that. So from this point forward, we're establishing this group. Established players. Draft capital is a thing of the past. We've done this for 4 years now. Yeah.
Do Del Mastro, Kaiser, the Maple Leafs first round pick for Mason McTavish? Does that get it done?
I'd do it if you could.
Does it get it done though?
I don't know. That's my answer is like, I don't know, but like, those are things you should go try to do.
Yeah. That's the type of player you got to get this offseason, right? That shouldn't be it. I'd say that and, the guy we've been referencing a lot on this show.
Oh yeah. Also one more thing. I texted you guys about it, but how would you feel about talking about trading young players and picks and stuff? If we can't get done with Mitch Marner, how about a very nice big package for David Pastrnak?
Well, that would take a lot.
It would.
You're talking about giving up.
But I think you could. Yeah.
You're talking about giving up a lot.
I think you could do it. Just like what we've seen the Bruins do at the deadline. Like they were obviously dumping players and trying to get draft capital and do somewhat of a rebuild. Why would Pastrnak? He's 28 years old. Why would he want to be there? Like they are now so far from being any sort of contention. Like we're obviously further along than the Bruins are at this point. Decent contract too. I think he's making like 11-2. Dude,
Pasternak's 28. He'll be 29.
You're telling me you guys aren't?
He's in his prime right now, man. Like I just worry about what that. I know we gotta make sacrifices, but dude, like that would take a return where you're giving up some of our favorite prospects here that we've been waiting for. It's like I don't know about that one.
Korchinski and a couple firsts. You're not doing it.
Oh, you think that? Yeah, I don't even know if that. Maybe this is David Pastrnak we're talking about. I think that would even be enough. Like I don't know.
I say go do it. Like I say,
If you
absolutely
can.
do it.
Yeah,
that-
but like,
that
I just
guy
don't know
is
if they
fucking
would.
unreal.
Yeah, I just think it would take probably more than that.
But
even
why?
for-
But they just traded Brad Marchand for a conditional second because because he wanted $7 million.
This is Brad Marchand versus David Pastrnak here.
Yeah, but if they're Justin, if they're breaking it down, like what does David Pastrnak do for you? Maybe put a little bit of bums in seats and like scores a bunch of points during the regular season. They're not sniffing the playoffs for half a decade.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. I just don't know what it look like. Yeah.
Another super chat. You guys are unreal.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. It means a lot.
The only other thought I had about the logjam on defense, then we got to get to break here shortly. Aaron Ekblad, maybe. Jacob Chikrin, maybe. You know, would you sign one of these guys in free agency? Maybe if you're able to unload the Connor Murphy deal. Why?
Yeah,
we have so many defensemen. Like
trade the young ones.
No, but these guys have already shown that they can play in the NHL.
Yeah, but they're not Jacob Chikrin or Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah, but so here's the thing: is like Artyom Levshunov is going to be the top pairing guy on the right side. Sam Renzel is going to be the second pairing guy on the right side. Louis Crevier can easily be your third pairing defenseman on the right side. You're like, we have these slots figured out. Like, just sign these guys. Like, we have what we need defensively. We know.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I think Aaron Ekblad might have a little extra performance to offer on the table, though.
Yeah, PED merchant Aaron Ekblad.
Settle down.
I think that we've kind of got it figured out defensively. Like I really do believe that. And I
know get forwards in the defense.
You can argue that's premature, but I'd push back and say I don't think so. Like Alex Vlasic is easily going to be a top pairing defenseman. Like that is the way I feel like the NHL is moving right now, where it's like your top pairing guys can be like a Brock Faber or a Gustav Forsling or a Jacob Slavin. Alex Vlasic fits that mold. Like that's perfect to have. You're going to be playing this guy fucking 25 minutes a night for the next decade. You have that already. And you've got Levshunov. And then you've got a puck mover in Korchinski. And you've got either EDM or Kaiser to be your bottom pairing guys with Louis Crevier. Like they've already shown they can compete in the NHL. They're only going to get better. Like you've got your defense figured out.
Amen.
Go get forwards. Go get forwards. Unless it's Matthew Schaefer available at number 2, then you draft him and you trade somebody.
Get Bedard's room some furniture. Get him some help up there on the offense. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to see them bring in Jacob Chikrin.
Yeah.
That's
maybe he's got a bomb. Yeah.
He has a bomb. Like that's a guy who's really grown. I could see it being a fit here.
I just like I don't care for it, to be honest with you. Like we need forwards.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to trade for them. Because the rumor about Brock Besser is that he turned down 5 times 8 from Vancouver. So you're telling me you want to pay Brock Besser $8.5 million over the next 7 seasons?
No, but cool. I'm saying like with all the young players we have coming up, you bring in a Mitch Marner or you go out and make a big trade for a Brady Tkachuk or a David Pastrnak.
Those are pipe dreams. Those are all. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
But
so
we just spent half an hour of the show Monday saying how Marner could happen?
Mitch Marner is the only realistic one. You're not getting David Pastrnak or Brady Tkachuk.
Oh yeah, because David Pasternak's definitely going to want to stay in Boston on a team that's going to be in the floor of the NHL for the next 5 years as he's playing his best hockey. I'm sure Pasternak's going to want to stay.
Yeah. Do you think Chicago is where we want to go though?
Maybe. I don't know, dude. Here's the thing. Now that we're like here, we have to start talking about what we have. Like we have a third line. We have a really good third line of Donato, Mikheyev, and Teravainen that are all going to be here for the next 2 to 3 years. We've got
Nazar 1-2 center.
Yeah. Or maybe I'd say Nazar's probably on the wing, but let's say
Bertuzzi up there.
Let's say we need a second line center. We need a first line winger.
Hopefully Misa could slide in next year. Like that's hopefully.
Yeah. You need a first line winger, a second line center, and
like another tier 2 guy.
And another like second line winger.
So yeah, Martin on the first line.
That's what we need. Like let's start talking specifics now, because it's like we don't need we don't need a whole lot. And I know that's going to, like, you know, people might freak out and be like, yes, you do. You're the second worst team in the league. It's like, no, dude, we've drafted all these kids for a reason. They're going to end up being really good NHL players because we've taken them in the first and second rounds. They're going to, like, Oliver Moore is going to be a good NHL player. Like, it's going to happen. So it's like, there's 3 things I'd say in the top 6 that we really need. Go get them. You don't need a whole new team. Like, you're going to let these young players that you've drafted come into their roles.
Yeah, and don't forget about a guy. I know he's been the bottom 6 all year, but he has a contract for another year here, and that's going to be a big one for him. Is Lucas Reichel? Like, that's a guy, you know, I would hope, you know, gets the opportunity next year as well. So yeah, we have a lot of guys in the arsenal here, and more. We can't forget about him. Like, you just brought him up. Like, probably Radford next year, maybe not. Maybe he has the Frank Dazar treatment where he plays so well down there, he eventually gets, you know, called up here. So we have so much pieces here. It's like we have the pieces of the puzzle. We just got to put them together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say we need like 3 big things for our top 6, and then it's like, let these young players develop. Like, yeah. So.
And you brought up that third line. I think the fourth line's already figured out too. I mean, Doc, Foligno, Slager. There's a fourth line. Is Dickinson? How about Dickinson? Is his contract go another year? I just forgot about him. I think he might go for another year actually. So Dickinson's probably somewhere in there too.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. We're already talking about this, like logjam and defense. We're starting to talk about logjam up front too. So yeah. For sure.
It's good problems to have. But yeah, I don't know. I don't subscribe to this, like, oh my gosh, the Blackhawks need to make 7 moves to be like, it's like,
look how that worked out last offseason. You just need to make a couple big ones. That's what this team needs right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a couple big ones. 2 to 3 big moves. You don't need a new team at all. Like, let these kids play and let them turn into NHLers. And stars, hopefully.
A couple of them we've already done, right? Davidson's made his offseason a little easier. He's kind of jump-started with this trade deadline. Now it's like, okay, let's build on that. And then, of course, we can't forget about the biggest thing of all, the coach.
Yep. Absolutely. Great point.
Yep.
All right. You guys want to hit a break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. Taking a break here. We'll be back with NHLR, Chicago Hockey Radio. Stick around on the other side.
Just
It's the NHL Hour, Chicago Hockey Radio. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. Justin Lynch on Zoom, Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos in studio, and Raven Gasser behind the door on the board. How we doing, everybody?
Well, no, still doing well. No more fire alarms.
Fucking rookie, dude.
My
Get
God.
it together.
You guys both with the playing audio on your phones during your show. Like
Justin's is more excusable than mine. That was just ridiculous.
Well, no, mine was like, not to make excuses, but like I was trying to get the Zoom up on the phone while because like normally these fire, I was worried it's gonna take forever. Normally when it happens,
that was quick.
and it takes a long time. So I was thinking, it was really quick. It was a false alarm. I think somebody pulled it or something or whatever. It was false alarm. So yeah, that's why the volume was on the. That's why the volume was on the phone. Like I didn't realize it was coming from the phone at first. I thought it was coming from the computer, so I was messing around. It was just everything was just collapsing on my end, but I got it figured out, so we're good now.
No, that was like
it caught me off guard.
That was like a top 10 moment in CHR history.
There's no way they sent an email like it wasn't a scheduled fire alarm. That's why it caught me off guard. So
we're gonna have to make a clip of Justin leaving the show for a fire alarm.
Just brutal timing.
That's legendary.
Like they're really preying on my downfall here, but we prosper. We live long and prosper, as Tim Tebow would say.
Got a couple of subscribers here while we've been doing this show. Thank you very much. Please, please, please remember to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram and leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Tell your friends to subscribe unless you guys are friendless, which I don't believe that to be true whatsoever. All of our listeners are super fun and personable, so I know you all have a ton of friends that you can beg to subscribe on our behalf. We
must be nice.
Really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, Justin, you have friends. We're all your friends, buddy.
Yeah,
don't worry.
I have friends.
Yeah, you have me, Justin. Don't ever say that again.
No, I have friends. Yeah, they're. It's not like a large group, but the people I do have are like super loyal and dedicated, just like all of you are. That's right.
what it's all about.
Exactly.
That's what it's all
NHL
about.
Hour.
Yes.
All right. That's Friend Talk brought to you by Chicago Hockey Radio.
You're my best friend. Good song by Queen. Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Ekblad suspended 20 games. Potential future Blackhawk suspended 20 games for.
Hey,
bro, what is that? Why? Like, why are you taking PEDs during the regular season, bro? It's not.
It was an accident, though, right? Well, that's what he claims. It was an accident.
Okay,
right?
yes.
I feel like
that's given him.
I feel like that's the only thing. I believe him because I haven't heard what he said about
he was
it.
recovering from an injury.
Okay,
yeah.
I will read the statement from Aaron Ekblad in a second.
Because I would love to make a bunch of misinformed takes on the show. You guys know I love doing.
We never do that. Yeah, no, we're always right.
You know, the thing wasn't that it was PEDs. It was that, oh boy, I'm going to filibuster while I talk about this, but
yeah, it's 20 games too, which is like one of the longer suspensions we've seen in a long time. I mean, Shea Pinto got double that for, the betting stuff, which seems a little odd, but that's NHL for you. But yeah, I think I saw it's like the top 5 longest suspensions like in recent memory. So that'll probably have him out to the playoffs, I'd imagine. So Seth Jones, it's funny, they get this guy to, be on the second pair and quarterback the second power play unit. Now all of a sudden he's got to be on the first pair and quarterback the first power play unit. So he's got a little more to do there now if Ekblad's being out.
Yeah, something that I'm interested about is is it just regular season games or is it playoffs too? Because then that's going to have him missing like a couple of the first playoff games. No, like I feel like
actually
they probably only have like 17, 18 left, I'd imagine. And so it's like, woof. Like, are they going to be without him for the first couple games and then? If they end up playing Tampa or Toronto in the first round, like that could be trouble for Florida.
So the Panthers have 18 regular season games remaining. This is the first suspension of Aaron Ekblad's career. We'll keep him out until early in a potential first round playoff series. So I do think that includes the first 2 games of the playoffs. Panthers are currently first in the Atlantic. Here is the statement from him. The news that I failed a random drug test was a shock. Ultimately, I made a mistake by taking something to help me recover from recent injuries without first checking with proper medical and team personnel. I've let my teammates, the Panthers organization, and our great fans down for that. I am truly sorry. I have accepted responsibility for my mistake and will be fully prepared to return to my team when my suspension is over. I have learned a hard lesson and cannot wait to be back with my teammates.
Yeah,
there you go. He learned his lesson.
That's a shitty situation. I don't know. I'll take him for his word in that he kind of just like made a mistake and like because that hurts. Like that could really affect them then if he's out for the first 2 of a series. Like I don't know, man.
It's a big loss. Yeah. Seth Jones probably sabotaged him so he should get more ice time there. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Please don't take that seriously. But yeah, no, like that is a big loss for the Panthers. But look, that team is such a wagon though. Like they're every position they got covered. So if anything, maybe this makes it a good thing. Even like they're probably even happier they made that Jones trade now because at least he could kind of fill in some of that ice time there, right? He got his first point as Panther, by the way. It only took him 4 games to get his first point there, so good for you, Seth. And they were undefeated, but they did blow a 2-0 lead against Boston last night. So that wasn't too great. The first game without Ekblad. They got 19 more to go, so we'll see how that goes.
This is the first PED-related suspension since Nate Schmidt, then with the Vegas Golden Knights when he got a 20-game ban as well. So 20 games is sort of
damn. So Florida's just got a bunch of cheaters, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what they say. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying, man.
You think Nate Schmidt was like, "Hey, buddy, this is."
Yeah. He's like, "I got something for you. Just don't pee in a cup anytime soon." Maybe Seth's gonna pop next. Justin's praying for that day.
Well, what does it tell you though, man? Seth Jones rise to Florida, and suddenly people are getting suspended for peds. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, right? I'm just joking. I'm joking. Man.
You're such a sour. Oh my god,
man! I not to get back to the Hawks here, but man, I loved that episode last night. Seeing his bags getting packed going to Florida, I could not be happier. I could watch that all day. We'll take the franchise goaltender. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but seriously speaking now, I'm sure Florida is more pumped than ever about that Seth Jones trade because it's like now you got a guy that can step into that role and eat all those minutes and play on the first pairing. So yeah, hopefully for Florida at least, Seth turns into a beast for those first couple games of the postseason.
Yeah, like they are, but it's like, is that really what they acquired him for, though? Like they didn't really acquire him for insurance. Like now it's like he was supposed to just be a guy. Now he's kind of got to be the guy on the defense, just like he was here.
Well,
yeah,
Florida's a better team, but there's still Forsling there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. But still, like he's going to have to play probably the type of ice time he's had with the Hawks, and I don't know if that's really what Panthers fans want to see. But again, it's a better team there. We'll see.
Yeah, Florida's going to be like really worth watching for the rest of the season. Just. Not even just as far as like the divisional race and seeding goes, but also like, is Matthew Tkachuk going to be held? Like, I know they're saying like, yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to be back for playoffs. But like, is he going to miss a couple? Like if he's missing the first couple games and then you have no Ekblad too, it's like that is a different team without those two guys.
Yeah. Plus they're still waiting on Marchand too. So but he should be back for the playoffs though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the ice skating yesterday. Didn't play in Boston, but he was on the ice. And Sam Bennett Florida Panthers posted like a bunch of pics of Marchand on the ice yesterday, and one of them was with Bennett and him just like kind of chopping it up. And Sam Bennett, not to do Instagram talk again, but
God, I can't.
Sam Bennett threw it on his Instagram story and said a couple of scumbags. So.
Did you see that Bennett Zadorov tilt yesterday?
No, I didn't watch it.
That was a good one.
How about that tilt in the Utah-Toronto game the other night, like the Superman pitcher? Wow, that was pretty cool pick. Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's your boy too.
I wouldn't say Simone Benoit is my boy.
I remember you telling me several. Maybe this was last year. You were telling me how much you love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's Simone Benoit.
I've been watching a lot of Leafs hockey lately, and he's been paired with Philip Myers, and like those two just cannot break the puck out for the life of them. Like it is. The Superman punch was cool. That is an all-time hockey picture. And I actually was going to tell you this off air, but I will tell you it now, actually. For the Saturday throwback post this week, I don't want you to do videos. I think we should do all-time best Blackhawks pictures.
Ooh, I like that.
I think that's a good idea.
Throw that Betsy Home one in there, too.
Yeah. Just get like 20 of the coolest Blackhawks. Yeah. Dude, I'm full of them.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Rare Tassos W.
I was thinking of doing stuff like that on my end too, like just like a favorite Bedard pictures post or something. Maybe we'll see that later.
That's like every single post of yours is your favorite.
It's more of a Bedard page than a Hawks page at this point. But anyway, back to the NHL.
Yeah, the Benoit punch was cool. He then got his lunch fed by Michael Kesselring after that.
Yeah, he got beaten up.
And he didn't even
picture would have gone harder, if he actually won it.
He didn't land the Superman punch.
He didn't.
It looked like it.
He got missed. He missed and then got dominated.
He'll tell his grandkids he landed the punch.
That is a picture that, like, post career, you hang up on the wall.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
That's your legacy right there.
Post career, hang it up now. What other pictures does that guy have?
Right there, your profile picture. Yeah.
That should be his profile picture. All right, so that's Aaron Ekblad talk. Let's get into this Rasmus Dahlin situation. So Paul Bissonnette on the Spit and Chicklets podcast that came out yesterday, towards the end of the podcast, just dropped this as a little nugget. He said that Rasmus Dahlin went into GM Kevin Adams' office and said that if things don't get better here, I want out. And that created quite a bit of a stir, especially in Sabres social media. I did send Raven the clip on Instagram of
Dahlin shot it down, right?
Dahlin did shoot it down. We do have that clip. Can we play it now, Raven?
There's a clip circulating on social media from the Spit and Chicklets podcast that said, if you guys don't figure this out soon, you want to be moved. Is that accurate?
Who?
Paul Bissonnette.
Who wants to be moved?
You.
I want to be moved?
You said you told Adams that.
That I want to be gone from Buffalo? No,
change.
I don't know what he's talking about. I've never said I want out of here. I'm not happy where we're at. I don't want to lose. We have to get better. But I've never said I want out of here. I thought that was pretty clear.
So you would definitely say though that podcast from Bissonnette is false?
I mean, I don't even. That bugs me actually. I get pissed off by that. I haven't even mentioned the word leave. So that's just how it is. If guys don't want to be here, then he don't want to be here. You can't really do anything about it. But I don't see that in this room.
Woof.
So the clip goes on more, not that one I sent Raven, but the actual interview and scrum part of that. Like, it does go on further where, there was a meeting between Dahlin and Kevin Adams a week out before the trade deadline where he did say, this isn't good enough. I don't remember. I was kind of half listening to that. But, he did say that, like, he doesn't want to be known as a loser.
If you stay in Buffalo, you will be.
Well, the situation in Buffalo to me is so interesting because you have pieces, like you have Dahlin and Power
Tage
and Bowen
Thompson.
Byram and Tage Thompson, Tage
Paterka,
Lemieux, Paterka, all
Benson.
Alex Tuck is a really good player. I always thought that the rumors of him being shipped out, like I thought that was ridiculous. Like that's a Western New York guy who really, really loves being a Buffalo Sabre. You have to hang on to players like that. So I don't really know what it is for Buffalo that needs to happen for them to get better. If it's more of a mental shift, if the work needs to just be done harder, you know what I mean? What do you do? I just, yeah. And the Dahlin stuff is interesting because he basically says that he said everything that Paul Bissonnette said he said, except for but I want to leave. Like he stopped short of saying
it was probably implied, like, hey, figure this out. And
or else.
It's putting the pressure on. It's putting the pressure on, right? Well, there's never any drama on Buffalo, right? Everything's always going great over there. They shipped off the workhorse from Whitehorse for Josh Norris, so we'll see how that plays out for them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a podcast. We got to talk, fellas.
I just I don't know what you want me to say other than like Buffalo is cooked. Like what a mess Kevin Adams has on his hands. Because it's like, even if Dahlin wants to be like, no, I didn't say I was going to leave. It's like, well, I'm sure that's what was kind of implied in the meeting. If you're having a meeting with your general manager about how he needs to turn things around.
It's really not a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like what are we doing here? You're going to get mad at I don't know. I can see the frustration there. Like I would probably be pissed at Biz too. Like why the fuck are you airing my,
That's what Biz does, man. He stirs things up. That's what he's supposed to do, right? Yeah. Get the clicks. But yeah, for Buffalo too, it's like there's nothing really new here. And it's like, yeah, if you had told us at this point of the season that they'd be 30th in the NHL, they're only one spot ahead of us in the standings, man. They're 7 points ahead of us. That this was supposed to be the year. Every year is supposed to be the year, and somehow they just keep taking steps back. It's like never-ending cycle there. So to answer your question, how do you fix it? I mean, I don't think you really can. I think they're screwed. I think this is just perpetual, and I'm not really sure what the what to do for them.
I think the answer is like kind of in the locker room. Like those guys need to be superstars. Like you want to win, you have to go win, you know? Like I don't know. Like it's not that I think Kevin Adams has done the best job by any means, but it's like I don't know, bro. It's like you are the team. Like
it's not like they don't have talent here, right? Because there are bad teams, but like this isn't a bad team per se. I mean, they've been playing bad, but it's like they got players here. That's a frustrating thing, I'm sure, for Buffalo fans, and they've had that the last few years. They just underperform. I think it's just the problems go deeper than roster, man. It's we've been talking about culture change out the Hawks lately. That's what the Sabres need. They need a culture change. We've been saying that them, and it's how do you go about doing that? That's what they need right now. It's like something of that locker room is just not right.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're the captain, you're the leader. This is your team too. And I don't know, it's kind of like when people hate on Subway. It's like you made the sandwich. Like, what are you talking about right now?
I think
my brother in Christ, you are the team.
Yeah.
I think they need some help down the middle here. I'm just looking at their their center depth right now. It's Josh Norris, first line center, Ryan McLeod, second line center, Peyton Krebs, third line center, Sam Lafferty, fourth.
Yeah, Josh Norris is not a first line center.
And Ryan McLeod. Everybody needs to be bumped down a spot, and you need to get a first line center. And
including Blackhawks legend Sam Lafferty, he's the fifth line center.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like a good 13th forward for you.
Yeah,
honestly.
I got you.
You know, and then obviously a right shot D-man because it's a lot of like Samuelson and, you know, I'm sorry, but Jacob Bryson and Connor Clifton aren't getting it done on the right side, and you've shifted over Dahlin to the right. And, you know, I know a lot of people are questioning the coaching decision to bring back Lindy Ruff. It just feels like they've never been able to get the right coach in Buffalo either. They tried Ralph Kruger. They tried... I'm trying
Granato.
Like that didn't work. He was too soft on them. You know, Ruff, it just seems like maybe the game has passed him by a little bit. You know, I don't, and we could talk, like, do you guys believe Biz? Like, do you guys believe, like, he doesn't generally go out there and say, like,
if he doesn't have some sort of evidence.
Yeah, like he is not like he is very funny and boisterous, but he's not like going out there saying things that aren't true most of the time.
I think I like.
Well, except for what he said, Bedard's playing pound hockey, but otherwise, nobody says things that are pretty true.
Maybe kind of right about that. I think they're probably both right. Like Dahlin might not have said, "I'm gonna leave if you don't figure this out,"
but he implied it, like you said.
But if he had a meeting and talked about how things need to change and how, you know, it's like, well, what else could you mean? You know, like,
yeah. What do you think's going to happen if things don't change? If he's saying things need to change and they don't change, then obviously he's going to want out. He might not want out right now, but he's saying if things don't get better, I will want out.
Yeah.
He's in the first year of an $11 million a year deal. That's a big ticket to try and move.
Yeah, but it's Rasmus Dahlin. There's going to be takers for that.
Would you take Rasmus Dahlin?
I mean, again, we're talking about...
This guy should have future Norris winning potential, you would think. Yeah, this is supposed to be the next Lidstrom here. That's what they keep saying.
I mean, I feel like the Blackhawks have plenty of young defensemen that we don't really need to like break the bank or bend over backwards to bring in like another really good young defenseman.
Oh yeah, for us,
like,
no, I don't think it's. Yeah,
but like,
other teams.
I think there's a lot. Like you're telling me, San Jose wouldn't give up a pretty penny to get Rasmus Dahlin on their team.
Yeah, I mean, they need defense. They desperately need it. So if you're not getting Schaefer, you better do something. Yeah.
It's such a big ticket, man. Like, that's a big, big ticket. Like, I don't know how many defensemen make $11 million a year.
We're gonna start seeing it more over the next 3 years.
It's not Seth Jones here though. This is Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah, I agree. Also, you guys were getting chirped in the comments on Twitter for
Shocker.
Calling the team for referencing we as the Blackhawks.
I will always do that. Like, this is my team. I have 3 rings. I'm a diehard Blackhawks fan. I came out of the womb a Blackhawks fan. This is we. What are we doing here?
Yeah, they think they're being like
we guys.
Yeah, like we're a part of the team. Like that's a part of the culture we're trying to build here. It's like it's like you just said, we're diehard fans. Like I like to think we're a part of this when we do these podcasts, man. Like that's a mentality. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're not saying we, then it's like, are you really a fan of your team? Like what's the critique there? I don't get that.
It's crazy. Like my parents spent way too much fucking money growing up taking me to Blackhawks games for me to not say we, dude.
Yeah, the fan base is included with the team, 1,000%. Like good fan bases are at least. right? Yeah, it's like that Breaking Bad be of Walter White. We? Who's we?
Yeah.
There is no we. But no, I think there is a we here with us, with this culture we're building.
Yeah, this is my team.
Except for
CHR,
when they do
revolutionizing the game.
something you guys don't like. Then it's them.
Then it's I. Yeah, or them, or pronoun game. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a Blackhawk than fucking TJ Brody is. Like,
well, I mean, technically not, but you know.
Where's our paycheck? Where's our $3 million
right?
he's making?
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. So I'm doing the show with a couple of we guys.
Yeah, it's always gonna be we. I'm always gonna be like, no matter where we go with this show, I'm always going to be a diehard Blackhawks fan. Like that's a big fear I have with this. I feel like a lot of like analysts and hockey podcasts, they like remove themselves from the situation. I don't ever want to remove myself from the team. Like I am a diehard Blackhawks fan. I'm always going to be.
What if the Blackhawks say, "Hey, we want nothing to do with you"?
Well, fuck them.
It's their problem. That's hockey, baby. There's no I's. There's we's.
Yeah, dude. I don't care what the front office says. Get out of here. I'm a Blackhawk, baby.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
What do we want to do next? Oh, let's do this. Let's do this Ovechkin story. I know you have the Brendan Moore stuff first, but I actually want to send some quotes to Raven first on that beforehand. So, how about Ovi yesterday, dishing it out, 3 assists last night, passing up on the empty netter to give it to Alexei Protas for his first.
Yeah. Another Belarus legend there. Good pickup for a fantasy team. But he's quietly had a really good season.
Can I give you
Nobody
stats?
really talks about him. Sure.
28 goals, 30 assists for 58 points in 65 games for Alexei Protas.
Damn.
Is it a Ryan Donato situation?
Absolutely not.
No? Okay.
Absolutely not. This is a guy
He's
who's
going to be
like
doing
growing
this for the rest of his career?
He's not 29 years old.
I know, he's 24.
Like this is a guy who's growing into this.
He's only going to get better. Yeah.
His younger brother, who the Capitals also drafted, is like lighting up the OHL too right now.
Also, he looks 32 years old. I know he's only 24, but he looks like an uncle.
Because he's from Belarus. What is it? These Belarus people looking way older than they are. What are they growing over there? What's in the water in Belarus?
It's a tough area to live. It's yeah.
His brother.
They breed men over there.
Eastern Europe is crazy. Dude.
His brother Ilya Protas has 112 points in 58 games with the Windsor Spitfires. That's pretty good. Almost 2 points a game.
Not bad, eh?
Damn.
That's so. And this is like a larger conversation here. And we could talk about the OV stuff too. But when you look at the Penguins and the Capitals, two franchises who have been inextricably linked for the better part of 2 decades, like that's the difference between being in contention right now and floundering where the Penguins are, is hitting on guys like Alexei Protas who have turned the corner.
And you gotta take game like Pierre-Luc Dubois, like revived his career. You gotta, if you're in that situation, and you want to do it on the fly, you're gonna have to take gambles on guys.
And look at Dylan Strome too. Like he's another guy, right? I mean, this has been a career renaissance move for him as well. He's been a big part of why Ovi's he's been feeding him a lot of Ovechkin. He's been the new Backstrom for him, feeding him those assists. So big part of why he's gonna get to that goals record here. So it's like Capitals are really hitting on these guys, and I might be underestimating them. I'm still not walking back what I've said about them come playoff time. They got to prove it to me that they can do it then. But yeah, clearly it's a very tight knit group. Like I think there seems to be a few teams in the league that are more bonded than them. Like they seem to have a lot of like traditions in like the locker room and things like that, things that they do together. Like it just seems like a really tight knit operation there. Yeah.
I'm gonna play heel. I'm gonna go Tassos mode for a second here. You think Ovi could end up regretting passing that one up? What if he's one short at the end of this year?
No, he's gonna get it this season. Yeah, and he's gonna, if not, he's got another season to do it before he's thinking about retirement.
Didn't he say that he's done after this year?
No, he said after 25-20, his contract goes one more year.
Okay.
Yeah, I do want to. Yeah, even if he breaks the goals record, I don't know if that change anything. You think he wouldn't just suddenly like he's going to play out the contract? You would think that's kind of what he made it sound like. Yeah,
I would think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, maybe depends what happens in the playoffs. The Capitals win the cup. That might be a good way to go out. Yeah,
bands will make her dance.
Yeah, but I was not really surprised this yet, but it was sad to see that report. I mean, he's 39, he's gonna be 40 next year. He's gonna have over 900 goals. Like, if I were him, I would kind of he's still playing well. Like, keep playing to get to 1,000. Like stretch that record out a little bit, make it harder, to break. But he's at a stage in his career where he's got nothing else to prove, and to go back to Russia after next season and some more time with family, I can't blame him for that. But it's still sad to see that, man.
You guys think he could hit 1,000 goals if he stayed in the NHL maybe one more season after next year?
Well, let's see. He would be a little over 900, well, high 890s, low 900 after this season. Well, then he had to have
two more seasons after.
He had to have 250 goal seasons. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Okay, what about 2 more seasons after this one?
No, then we're starting to talk about 42-year-old Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, because he's going to be 40 at the start of next year in September.
Okay, yeah, 1,000 might be further away than I maybe hypothesized there. Yeah, maybe it is time to just go. But he's Ovechkin, man. It's like I thought he kind of had the Yager situation where he just kind of keep playing until he couldn't. But maybe there's something to be said for go while you still got it.
I think it's gonna. I said this, like I did call it a little bit that he might think about leaving after this season. I don't think he's going to now, but the lure of needing to go back there and play another couple of seasons in the KHL is something that he's almost not going to be able to avoid. Like, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
It would be a good way to go out too. Perfect way to go out. Like, you cannot script a better ending than that.
Yeah.
In terms of legacy. Yeah.
Okay, so Rod Brindamore and the Carolina Hurricanes with regards to Mikko Rantanen. What he went on a radio show, he talked about it a little bit. What's his name? Eric Tulsky went on the sheet yesterday with Jeff Merrick talking about it a little bit more too. Your guys' thoughts on those comments, basically saying that he walked into the locker room and basically said, that there's only 4 teams he'll play for and that the Hurricanes are not one of them. And yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to say it right now. Like, is there anyone else who's kind of lost some respect for Mikko Rantanen this past month or so, month plus? I feel like he's kind of hurting his legacy right now. And he just doesn't really seem to have that NHL mentality. He's like an NBA player. Like, he's got to have the perfect situation, go where he wants. It's like, I don't know. He just doesn't really seem like a team guy to me. It's like, maybe I'm off my hinges there, but
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of hurting his legacy right now.
I'm gonna push back on that. It's horrible mismanagement from Carolina's front office. Mikko Rantanen got blindsided by the trade to Carolina. He never wanted to go. It wasn't like they were having negotiations and he was not budging and they were like, okay, we're going to move you. He got completely blindsided and sent
I think
there
they
without.
did have negotiations.
They had some sort of negotiate, but it was it wasn't a lot. And then they sent him without consoling him, talking to him about it at all. They didn't
I think they did. I think that's exactly what happened.
No.
They went to him and they said, "Would you?"
They were talking about this on Chicklets yesterday. The insider, Biz was saying how he had no knowledge of it, and then they sent
the
him
trade. But they said to him, "Would you?"
They were giving him.
It's a scare tactic. It was a scare tactic by the Colorado Avalanche to try and get him to accept a lesser number, which the reports are that the highest that they offered him was 8 times 11.75. So it was a scare tactic. They go to him, and teams do this way more than people really think. Behind the scenes, this happens way more, where you go to him and you say, "Hey, would you go to Carolina?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I'd go to Carolina." You know what I mean? I'd sign there, even though he doesn't want to sign there.
That's not what I heard.
That's what I heard. So
let's see how Colorado and Carolina fans feel about it.
Mikko Rantanen is a superstar who won you a Stanley Cup, and you're nickeling and diming him. He got screwed. He got sent to Carolina without knowing, blindsided. And then, he got to Carolina, and he's like, I don't want to fucking play here. He doesn't want to dump and chase.
And then goes to Dallas and gets paid $12 million. He's making $200,000 more than he would have with Colorado if it's about the money. I don't understand the logic there.
Because
But it's more money when you consider taxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
More
guess.
than,
No. But that was the thing, is he wanted to get it done in Colorado. It was like they had one negotiation. They were like, we're going to give you this low offer, which is absurd, by the way. He won you a Stanley Cup. The cap's going up. Pay fucking Mikko Rantanen, you idiots. And then they trade him. They get back a good return, Colorado's end. But then they trade him. He didn't say yes to that. They blindsided him. He got sent there, and then he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to fucking dump and chase for the next 8 years of my prime." No. And then he was like, "Yeah, I'll go to a few of these teams," and he gave them a list. And yeah, he didn't want to be in Carolina. Why? I don't really understand. Like, put yourself in his shoes. How the fuck is that on Mikko Rantanen? Like, imagine you just get sent to a...
Mikko Rantanen got some bad advice from his agent, is what it sounds like.
I don't know,
to
man.
To call the bluff of the Colorado Avalanche and say, you're not going to actually trade me to Carolina. They 100% went to him and said, would you sign in Carolina? And he's like, yeah, sure, thinking they're not actually going to move him. And then his agent was like, that's what you say to get them to not move you. Act like you don't care. And then they did it. Like, then they got a good offer and they did it.
But now Mikko is on another contender in a no-tax state getting paid $12 million. Like, it worked out for Mikko Rantanen. Like, he's fine.
Yeah, worked out great for him. Yeah, not so much for the parties, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, like the big loser of this is Carolina, but it's on them. They had no agreement with Mikko Rantanen before bringing him in. They had no clue if he was going to sign. They didn't talk to him at all. They gave a bag up. They gave up Marty Necas, who's going to be a stud in this league for a very long time, without having any knowledge if Mikko Rantanen's going to sign with you or not. That's on them. Like, Carolina's, and like, I know a bunch of Carolina fans are upset, but it's like, that's on your front office. They fucked up. That's who messed up in this whole situation is Carolina, no one else. I think maybe you could argue Colorado maybe a little bit, but I think Colorado's team looks better now, honestly, without him, just because of all the other pieces that they brought in. Like, I think Colorado's a better team right now than they were 3 months ago. But, like, Carolina messed up. It's not on Mikko Rantanen. That's how I see it.
I think they thought they were getting a player that was going to entertain more than he did, the thought of staying in Carolina.
How the fuck are you sending away that kind of package without knowing you're going to have this guy locked up long term? It's insane to me.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You probably thought that you'd be able to get him, but the Hurricanes, they only had like a 3-game homestand while he was a Carolina Hurricane too. So and then you had the Four Nations break in there too.
So you had no time.
He had no time to actually get to know
acclimated chemistry in the system and all that.
Or even get to know the city and think like, hey, like I could see myself living here for the next 8 years.
But it's not like the Four Nations was a thing that just like came out 2 weeks before it happened.
Like we knew
they knew about it last year. Like, I don't know, man. I think
if Carolina has
horrible mismanagement. Yeah, if I'm
that's gotta be a job costing move, I feel like.
Exactly. I think if you're a Carolina fan and you're upset at Mikko Rantanen, you've got the wrong guy. Be mad at your general manager, not the fucking player who got blindsided with the trade. It's crazy.
Yeah, you have a point.
It's crazy.
I also am not going to fault anybody for like taking a swing.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think if you're Carolina, it's like I would have, go all in here, right? I thought they kind of went back on it kind of premature, but, Rantanen wasn't going to, they could have still used him as a rental, but anyway.
But I guess Logan Stankoven in 2 firsts and 2/3 is better than losing Mikko Rantanen.
Not if you win the cup. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it wasn't working there also.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, but like he still could have had time to figure it out. I don't know. It was 13 games, I don't know.
Yeah.
They got a haul.
A Taylor Hall, as you would say.
They got a Taylor Hall, but it's like, what does 2 first rounds do for the Carolina Hurricanes right
I think Stankoven matters more than that. I mean, Stankoven, like, he's going to be a piece for him, I think. He could be. I'm not saying he's going to fill in the production that you lose with Necas, but he could kind of be that type of player.
Yeah, he fits like a glove there for sure. He's not Marty. Exactly right, Justin. He's not Marty Necas, but I don't know what 2 first rounds do for you unless you're looking to trade them, which I think they probably will, because it's like, why are you worried about drafting talent right now?
Yeah,
it's like you guys,
that part of it. Like,
you've been in the playoffs. You've been a contender for the past 4 or 5 years. What the fuck are you doing with first round picks? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they're going to offload them like at the deadline and try to get more pieces, but that never happened. I'm sure maybe they tried. Maybe that's an offseason thing. Yeah.
I'm getting called Lee Bissonnette in the chat with a rare W take.
These rare elite W's seem to be increasingly more common these days. That must be said.
Does Lee know puck?
Chat better not get soft on me though. Every time I have a good take, it better be rare take. I don't want Lee W's. I want rare Lee W's. You guys better stay mean to me.
Okay, let's listen to these clips. So can we listen to the Rod Brindamore one first from the radio show that he was on?
Interview that really stuck with me.
There's not been one guy that has left here because they didn't like it here. That was except for Mikko, and he did not like it. When he showed up, he said, "There's 4 teams I'll go play for. Well, you're not one of them." So there's 28 other teams he wasn't going to. And when the better question is, should we have known that before we signed him,
right?
Or attempted to sign him? You know, Gensel was a totally opposite thing. We had offered him the contract. We offered him at the end. He's here,
right?
Well, we didn't for whatever reason. That's a different conversation. And all the other guys that walked out of here at free agency is because they got paid a lot more money than we were offering. They all wanted to stay. Right. So Mika was the only one that I've been associated with that said, I don't want to, this is not for me. And I think there's other circumstances on that. It's not because of the hockey. It was because I think his family, it wasn't for him. Mm-hmm. So good. And I appreciate that he let us know that. We probably should have known that before we made the deal. Maybe that changes how we go about things.
Interview that really.
You hear that? How is that not the most damning thing for your general manager? Like, that just sounds like a guy that, like, has no clue what he's doing. No? Is that not, like, insane to hear your coach be like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have brought this guy in because it didn't make any sense for him to be here, and maybe we should have known that. And, yeah, maybe we should have offered Jake Gensel a contract while he was here for however many months. What? How the fuck did they not fire this guy? Like, what? Is anybody else listening to this? That's insane to me.
Yeah, I think the team's probably masking his efficiencies. Like when you're still winning games in the playoffs,
Exactly,
if you're not winning anything in the playoffs, it's like the fact that you get there every single year. It probably masks his issues. But clearly, Brindamore is kind of and the team's kind of carrying the ship there because he's clearly not steering at Tulski. Yeah.
It also seems like Carolina has a bit of a stigma around them a little bit. It's pretty much common knowledge that their owner, Tom Dundon, is really heavily involved in a lot of decision making, a lot of contract negotiations, which, I can understand an owner wanting to be involved, right? Like I was listening to Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah Hockey Club, on Real Kipper and Bourne the other day. And, you just paid $1 billion for an NHL team. Like, yeah, you probably want to know what's going on a little bit. Like,
I hope so. Yeah.
You probably want to be in the know and know the guys and know what's going on. But at the same time, too, it always seems like when owners are too involved in any pro sport, it blows up in your face. It doesn't work. And we were reading
through the Dallas Cowboys.
There's a reason you're owner and not a general manager or a coach. Man. Let people do their job who are more qualified than you.
And the other thing, too, is we've read athletic polls taken by players where Carolina's facilities are at or near the bottom of the National Hockey League. And look, I don't blame Mikko Rantanen for not wanting to stay.
There's a reason the player's always a rental there. Yeah,
I just think
he saw something. Yeah.
I also don't really fault Eric Tulski as much. Plus, Eric Tulski also represents something in terms of our end. Like, I don't know if you guys really understand or know Eric Tulski's story, but he was a blogger before. Like, he started out as a hockey blogger and worked his way up to becoming a general. So that's like,
well, if he gets to be a general manager, I guess I'm going to be a general manager.
Yeah. If you guys ever have hopes of being a GM in the NHL, you should want Eric Tulski to succeed.
Imagine I come to your favorite team and just fuck everything up.
He didn't,
you guys would common Lee L.
I mean, he hasn't though.
That's like a franchise mode type of trade, man. NHL, chill.
Look, you turned Marty Necas, who people forget there was a fractured relationship there. Like, it wasn't like Marty Necas and the Carolina Hurricanes were a match made in heaven. That was a contentious contract negotiation last year. You turned Marty Necas, a second-round pick, and Jack Drury into 2 firsts, 2 thirds, and Logan Stanko. That's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
You're trying to win now. You're taking Marty Necas.
I don't know if that's.
But you didn't have enough time after the Mikko Rantanen deal.
I understand that he kind of got a haul from Dallas for Mikko Rantanen. That's all well and good. If you are a Carolina Hurricanes fan, put yourself in the shoes right now. Are you trading Marty Necas and Jack Drury for Logan Stankoven and 2 first-round picks?
But it was the idea of Mikko Rantanen at first. I heard that they offered one of the first-round picks that they got for Brock Besser. right before, but it was like 30 minutes before the deadline, and Vancouver wanted a little bit more.
I think you're letting this guy off the hook, dude. If Kyle Davidson did this, I would be.
Oh, we'd be calling for
screaming
his head,
fucking
man.
head on the show.
No, like, dude. Well, that's the difference, in Carolina and Chicago culture,
Yeah,
right?
he might get away with it in Carolina. That shit might be sweet over there. Here, no.
There's still a good hockey team too.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't mean like just because the team is good does not mean that your general manager is doing a piss poor job.
Watch them lose in the second round again.
Yeah.
All right, can we hear the Eric Tulsky clip from the sheet with Jeff Merrick?
A general thought on what happened before we get into specifics here. What from your chair do you think people need to understand that perhaps they don't?
Yeah, I mean, big picture, like we want to be aggressive. We want to take swings. We had a chance to acquire the kind of player you can't normally get your hands on. We took our shot. We knew he was not going to sign an extension the day we traded for him. We had, reason to believe, maybe we were right, maybe we were wrong, but we had reason to believe we had a decent chance of getting it done. He came in, he decided it wasn't for him. Mm-hmm. That's been pretty rare for us. And, we had time to move on and still end up okay. Ended up with a player who we're really happy with.
I mean, all I got to say is woof. That's a guy that needs to go back. Hit the blog, bro. Are we being serious right now?
Carolina Hockey Radio got me starting over there.
Thank God, dude. My GM is fucking having open heart surgery and then going out and getting one of the best young goaltenders on the planet.
And shipping off Seth Jones as well.
Yeah, could not be me. Could not be my GM. What? That is insane, dude. Like, even hearing him talk about it, it makes it seem even worse. Like, yeah, so, like, you can't give stick taps because he tried. Like, what are we're giving...
Was it we're going to have participation trophies on here? The big 2025? This is the National Hockey League, man.
Yeah, what? Like, you still failed at your job. Like, what are we doing?
How do you not know you're going to lock this guy up before a trade? It's like Mikko Rantanen. The idea of Rantanen, like you said, sounds great, but you got to make it a reality, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe I need to just go work in Carolina. Like, if I can just fuck off and keep my job, like, that's insane. He failed. Is that not utter failure? Like, you hear that, you're like, yeah, we knew he wasn't going to sign right away, but we maybe had reason to hope that we could possibly maybe get him to sign. Brother, you gave up 26-year-old Marty Natchez. You gave up your highest point producer for this.
Yeah, you better hope Logan Stankoven has the breakout of all time here. You're not going to look really good. Yeah.
Would you guys rather have Mikko Rantanen for the playoff run and then he leaves and signs, or would you rather have the 2 firsts, 2/3 and Logan Stankoven?
Honestly, I brought this up before the trade even happened. Like, I think I'd maybe rather keep him as a rental, to be honest, dude.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I thought at first too. Like I thought they'd have a hard time re-signing him anyway. And it's like the fact that they only thought bring him on to not make it a rental seemed kind of silly to me. It's like, again, like I said, you win the playoffs, doesn't matter, if you lose them. It's like, that's what you do it for. You do it to win. You do it to win now. And yeah, I think just going back on something like that makes them look stupider, like Lee said.
Dude, with the way the Metro is right now, you have a free ride to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're playing New Jersey and then Washington. You don't think that Carolina could beat both those teams?
Well, I will say this. I would have favored them with right now. I wouldn't say. I'd say Washington probably cooks them.
I'm saying if you had Mikko Rantanen.
If you had Mikko Rantanen, yes. But like now, I wouldn't say so. I know that cap goes back.
Dude, I still think Carolina's going to beat Washington.
I don't know if I'm sold now. I know I said Washington's going to be if they get past the first round.
Yes. Yeah. Why? What does Washington have that you're like they're going to win a 7-game playoff series against a good
team?
Team?
Depth. They have depth. I will say.
Okay, that's not enough to win playoff series. I'm sorry.
I like the Caps, man.
That's worked out great for Carolina.
Yeah, we're going to see how sweet that Moneyball situation is.
Yeah, I did say on Monday I wouldn't surprise if they're early exits. I feel like I'm kind of being hypocritical right now. So
I'm standing on that. Washington is not a favorite for me. They don't get past the second round. If they get a favorable matchup in the first round and they win, congratulations, you won the first round. They're not getting out of the second. I'll say that right now. Clip it. We'll revisit this in a month and a half.
Sounds good. You gonna get Capitals tattoo if it doesn't pan out?
No, fuck no.
Oh my God. So
ugly ass logo.
Have you guys ever seen Moneyball or no?
That's a great movie.
Fantastic
Fantastic movie. I love that. I think Davidson's watched that movie a few times. Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I've seen like parts of 3 different
times. You gotta watch the whole thing.
It's just so
Absolute
long.
classic sports movie. It's so good though, man. Oh, you'd love it. Even if you're not a big baseball guy. If you're a sports fan, like, you gotta see Moneyball. Like, absolutely. 100%. I reference it all the time.
People act like they had the 3 of us out there, though, on that Oakland Athletics team. Like, Raven can maybe confirm. Didn't they have, like, a Cy Young winner, though? Like, didn't they have one of the best?
I'm sure it was embellished.
Yeah. Like, didn't they have one of the best pitching rotations, like, of the last, like, 20 years, I want to say, on that team?
A lot of teams have tried to recreate the situation, and it hasn't really panned out for them. It's easier said than done. Yeah.
Yeah, and Washington Capitals are going to show us that it's fun during the regular season, but you're not going to win a championship fucking moneyballing, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think the rumors that Davidson kept it out is because he gets on base. I think that's why I kept him.
I don't know. Like, your back's against the wall. You're down 2 goals in a game 6 and a must win. Is Dylan Strome going to come up big for you in pot 2? Like, come on. This is not Jonathan Tace. This is Dylan Strome. Like, I know he's turned into quite a player. Guys, like, it's the playoffs. That's kind of my thing. I feel like NHL fans in general and people who cover the sport, they're always like, oh, this, like, watch out for this team. Like, watch out. Stop. There's a handful of teams that can win it all. You've got to win 4 playoff series. You have to win 4 7-game series. This Washington Capitals team, you're not doing it with Protas and fucking Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
The disrespect to Ovi. The disrespect. I mean, this is probably it for him, man. I mean, maybe one more year. It's like, you think he's going to want to go out early? I don't know.
I've also shifted my take on the empty netters and the whole thing about, like, him scoring all these goals on empty netters. I think he has 8 now this year on an empty net.
A grade 8 is 8.
First of all, I was talking to this with Raven earlier. You have to be winning a hockey game to, like, have the opportunity to score on an empty net. You know what I mean? Like, your team has to be pretty good. And if you think about it, like, Capitals are putting out a pretty bad defensive player, like, up a goal or 2, you know what I mean? At the end of a hockey game.
Yeah.
So, and the guy can, like, shoot, like, some of the ones he's scoring, like, banking it off the board,
All right.
Like, they're not 3 goals. The Hawks team didn't score any empty netters. Like, good teams score empty netters. Like,
good
they
teams
still
score.
count.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't need it's enough to say that you've retracted your slander. We don't have to, like, glaze empty net goals. Right now.
What? Dude?
Yeah,
No,
there's
I'm
just
just
different
saying.
eras here. Like, we've talked about a lot of, like, goals mean more now. Like they're worth more, versus different eras of hockey where goal scoring is up. So I think it's a fair, substitute.
Sorry, let's talk about Instagram posts some more instead.
Also, here's the thing: the fact that Ovechkin's on pace to break the record, like, pretty similarly to the pace that Gretzky was on goals per game wise in today's NHL, whether it's a lot of dinners or not, that's really impressive.
He's a goat. He's a goat.
If he does it by the end of the season, I think he'll do it in fewer games than Gretzky did.
That's nuts. That's crazy, because that was a completely different game, dude. It's like the goalies back then were not what they are now.
If Alex Ovechkin played in Gretzky's era, he'd have 3,000 goals.
Honestly, probably would, actually.
That's not
shot.
crazy. You're telling me he's not
Nobody's
averaging
stopping anything
a game? Like,
I'm sorry, but, like, Gretzky, you know,
David's putting up
gotta get the
500
puck
points
off
a
the
season.
ice.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
no.
I think if Ovi played in Gretzky's era, he would have been hung for witchcraft. Like, I don't.
Yeah, McDavid 500-point seasons in the Gretzky era. He just blow by everybody like Max Verstappen.
You wouldn't be able to touch him. McDavid already looks like he's playing a different sport. If he played in the fucking 90s, it'd be like, what are we watching? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Not to be disrespectful to the great one. I'm just saying.
But you don't get to McDavid by accident, right? McDavid did exist in the 80s for
Of course.
Gretzky helped start that. He helped revolutionize it,
Absolutely.
He paved the way for the McDavids of the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right. What else you guys got, fellas?
I don't know. Just disrespected the greatest player to ever play the game. Where should we go from here, boys?
Yeah, I don't really have anything.
Oh, tonight
else.
I have something. Tonight is the Lee and Justin Tattoo Bowl as the Calgary Flames take on the Vancouver Canucks tonight.
Go Flames, go Flames. Hey, Vancouver, guess what? Your boy isn't going home. He's staying in Chicago. How do you feel about that, all you Delulu Vancouverans over there? Calgary Flames, baby. For the playoff spot, Vancouver's done. They're finished. What do you have to say about that
one? That was a bad loss to Montreal the other
night. They
night.
suck. Carried by Quinn Hughes, your whole team over there.
That was last night.
Ducks beams in shambles.
PD scoring a hat trick tonight.
Oh yeah, good luck. You better hope, dude.
Washed.
You better hope, dude. They go down 3-0 to the Montreal Canadiens last night, and it's just like, man, like they don't want. I mean, there is talk that maybe Quinn Hughes comes back tonight, maybe, but. I don't know, dude. That might be the CHR game of the year. If we're like, actually, it's the last time they play. It's the last time they play each other this season. Like that's the game we should be streaming.
I need Flames.
Can Quinn Hughes get on the Aaron Ekblad treatment for tonight and just like? No, I don't want him. Man. I don't want him to get suspended and then be out for the rest of it.
Your Canucks are cooked. Get ready to learn Flames tattoo, buddy.
Oh, woof.
Dude, so I've been like thinking about this Flames tattoo a little bit actually, and like how we're gonna incorporate it in content. Like, are we gonna do it during like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Like, because we're gonna bring a tattoo artist here to the studio. Like, I'm gonna start.
We should do it. We should do it during a.
Like, we're gonna do it out there.
Yeah, we should do it during. We should live stream a playoff game and then do it during
a Calgary Flames playoff game.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
My God. And just have you getting inked up during this.
Watching them lose. And
I hope I better be there for that because that's going to be the first round.
Get smacked by Winnipeg, just ink in my arm.
Just gets swept.
And then
I think I'm going to get it like right here. It'll fit nicely.
Someone in chat asked, and this is a valid question, is it just going to be the outline or is it full color?
No, I'm not. I don't do color. It's going to be black.
Valid.
But yeah, I'll black it out.
Yeah, it's black behind you there, man.
A few good games tomorrow too, I have to say. Maple Leafs Panthers is a big one for the division. Bruins Senators.
Hawk Sharks a big one.
Yeah. Hawk Sharks is a big one. Yeah, definitely. Oilers Devils is a good one. Should be. Capitals Kings should be pretty good. Like tomorrow's a pretty good night of hockey.
Yeah, it's pretty loaded. Yeah, tonight's kind of. Besides that game's kind of mid, but no, tomorrow we will be there for that. Yeah, excited. Yeah,
must win for the Detroit Red Wings tonight too. They play.
Is that at Buffalo or at Detroit?
It's in Detroit.
Oh, damn! Because I would say Buffalo would be Patty Kane's hometown team there, but yeah, it's in Detroit. So yeah, but how many games they lost in a row? By the way, the Red Wings, they're imploding right now.
Well, that
game, 6 in a row.
Yikes.
6 in a row.
That finish against Ottawa was crazy. Like you had this sick play by Brady to get it to Cousins, who scored, and then Detroit scored, but it was after it was after the timer went out. Raymond
barely
sweet. Like yeah, it was like probably a half second after the timer. So
yeah, it's a buzzer beater type thing. Yeah,
Linus Ullmark was unbelievable.
Yeah,
like he's been unbelievable for them.
Yeah, he's gonna get them. He's gonna get them the offs. Yeah, like they look like Senators. I mean, it's not locked up, but the way they're looking post deadline here, I feel like you could count pencil in that spot there. So that leaves one more spot for either Columbus or whoever. I mean, I think it's Columbus. Yeah.
Sorry, Nolan in chat just referred to the matchup as Toronto, Florida as the Tassos Bowl.
No, they said the Tassos versus Lee Bowl.
No. But Florida versus Toronto is the Tassos.
Oh,
that's the Tassos Bowl.
Yeah, because that's where
those are my
for Chicago. That's where he was. Yeah, that's for sure. That's absolutely. So yeah, the Red Wings, man, they always implode in the month of March. I saw some like their record is like just terrible the last 2 years. They're like the opposite of us, and we suddenly figured it out in March. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, fellas? Anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
For any of you women's hockey fans out there, the and we were getting asked to do PWHL streams, so I might start streaming a couple PWHL games here and there. Not every week, but like
let's get to the women's hockey. 6 foot, by the way. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Like I said on that post game show when they were asking us about it, that they need to put a team here. But this is a fun note. So the Patty Kazmaier is the Hobie Baker for the women's side. All 3 finalists play on the Wisconsin Badgers. All three.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the second time that all three finalists have been on the same team.
The Wisconsin women's team could probably beat the men's at this rate. I don't think they've had a good season.
Chat, we're not doing fucking Cancerov talk at the end of NHL hour.
Why not? Roman Cancerov follows me. B-Hawk memes. Absolute legend that guy is. Love him.
Oh, Andrew did want us to do some Cancerov talk because he's trying to do he's doing like an edit on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so he wants us to include us talking about him in his edit. So if you guys want to talk about Roman Cancerov for a moment here.
Well, we talk about underrated Hawks. We talk about Hawks prospects all the time, right? And I think probably the most underrated one is Roman Cancerov. This guy in the KHL is putting up Ivan Demidov type numbers. U20 production we haven't seen since the likes of Kirill Kaprizov. This guy does not get talked about when it comes to Blackhawks prospects. And unfortunately, we won't see him next year because he's got one more year in his deal. But 26-27, the Roman Cancerov show in Chicago, the Russian legend. I cannot wait to see him. He's a guy we've loved to talk about a ton on the show for a reason. I think we're all very excited for him. He's gonna light it up, man. Also follows B-Off Beam's Instagram, so I appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I mean, 34 points in 43 games. I really do think that he is going to be a guy that's going to be able to slide in the 26-27 year right away. I already view him as a part of this team in the future and like what we have. So I
top
hope,
6 guy.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to see what he's able to do next year too. Just like another year older. If he can finish the year in the KHL over a point per game, and then he's going to be ready for the NHL right away. So, yeah, one of our best prospects, absolute stud, great shot, good speed. He's going to be exciting to watch.
The Cancerov Lardis connection. We will be there.
Absolutely.
All right, Andrew. I hope that satisfied enough.
Hopefully it's a good enough clip for you.
I love how now, like prospect talk, we're ending the show as a prospect talk now. I like that. Ending it with the best. Tassos having an aneurysm over there.
All right, we done?
We're done. We're good.
Okay. Shout out, who are these finalists? Layla Edwards, Caroline Harvey, and Casey O'Brien. Those are your Patty Kazmaier Award finalists. All right. That is it from Chicago Hockey Radio. We'll be back live streaming the game tomorrow. Justin, you want to do the post game with me afterward? We'll let Lee get out of
Absolutely.
here.
Yes,
Cool.
sir. We will be there.
Cool. All right. Thanks to everybody for joining. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please tell your friends to do it. I'm not kidding when I say that. You guys support us so much that, you know, if you could even get 2 friends to do it, 2 or 3 friends to do it, like that is such an enormous help for us. Yeah, we really appreciate all of you. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment with your Apple Podcast rating. And we will see everybody for the podcast. See you tomorrow for the live stream. Peace out.